guard against the acquisition of unwarranted influence, whether sought or unsought, by the military-industrial complex.
Oh, did you do the intro already?
You know how our
Hey, go ahead.
Okay, welcome back everyone. Anonymous Bites back. It is July 30 for me. For some, it is July 29 for some.
Okay, welcome back. Anonymous Bites back.
Oh,
Ted, mute yourself, please.
Holy shit.
I forgot to put the sound off. Yeah, sorry.
Okay, I'll do it again. Well, because we're going to give Assange updates. There is a new information in the Assange case. FreeCommanderX updates. We have a thing about PayPal. We have to talk about line 3 or stop line 3. Craig Murray we have to discuss. There's a lot of important subjects tonight. So make sure to share this around, because there is some information that you won't hear anywhere else. Hey, what do you guys want to start with then?
Craig Murray.
Okay. Hey Dad, I can still hear myself though the whole time.
It's not me.
Yeah, it is.
Damn it.
They got an echo, Ted.
Because I heard myself from you.
Yeah, I can see it lighting up, so that's why.
Wait, I put my microphone a little bit more down now.
Co?
Okay, so Craig Murray has been put in jail, right?
Yeah, I mean it's shocking. He got 8 months, and they're saying that he leaked witnesses that were in a rape trial against Alex. What's his name?
Alex Salmond. He is the high official of the Scottish Independence Party.
Right.
Yeah. So Craig Murray is a blogger, right? And he was also affiliated with that political party, but he was blogging about the whole case and stuff, and he was giving his opinion. And even though he never released any private information, the judge ruled that certain people could be identified through his blogs and through his tweets, etc. And there was like a huge discussion about that, because technically not anyone can just identify them. Only people with specific case knowledge or specific technical knowledge would be able to identify these people. But apparently now the judge argues that if those people can do it, anyone can do it. And that is an important thing in law in the UK, because that wasn't usually like that.
Well, that's what they used against Tommy Robinson a while back.
Oh yeah, Tommy has been in a similar case in that sense. But what makes it like Craig Murray, like several of the articles he wrote, they were written by him before there was even a protection for identities in Scotland. It wasn't even put in law yet. It didn't exist yet. It was only after.
Those two cases were in different locations, right?
Yeah, I think so. I'm not that familiar with Tommy Robinson, but Alamo, maybe you can explain more.
I'm just wondering how the EU court system works. So if that Tommy Robinson case kind of influences what they're able to do against Craig Murray, that's what I'm wondering.
Yeah, well, the UK is technically no longer with the UK.
Oh, goodness.
I'll wait for that.
Wait.
Your mic is not working, sir. Please stop.
I'm muted him for a second.
And besides, whatever possible precedent could come from the Tommy Robinson case, although I don't know much about what happened there, there's also the glaring fact that Craig Murray is one of Julian Assange's best friends. So that, without a doubt, plays into the whole case against him, along with kind of the overall war on any legitimate journalist or any legitimate figure connected to Julian and WikiLeaks.
Yeah, and he's been very outspoken, and he's been present at the trial of Assange, and he's active supporter of Assange. Well, he was Craig Murray was technically just also utilizing his free speech, and he was publishing on a blog and giving just his opinion on a case, and he was very careful with releasing any names or details of people. And that's the thing. But apparently, a judge can now rule if people can in some way find out who is involved, even if you have to do a lot of digging, then already you exposed people.
It's fucking ridiculous. Let's just call it what it is.
Yeah. Well, it is. It doesn't make sense to me. I mean, he was always very careful. I know plenty of people who are far less careful, and in the USA there is no protection at all, for example. And in this case, would have been good for Craig that there is no protection. But they fucked him over with it. He wasn't allowed to give his opinion. First he had to clean his whole blog off, and then he went into the court situation, and eventually it ended up with him getting a prison sentence. To me it obviously looks like a scare tactic against publishers, against writers, journalists.
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm back. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, now we don't hear static.
Yeah, there was an issue with my headphone. What the hell?
Still is, man.
I don't know what the fuck that was.
So what's that
Sound
mean?
like static.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Yeah, but that was not me.
I think it was.
No, because I could also hear it, and it was not me.
I don't know who it was, but that was interesting.
Stay.
No, because I was not lighting up when it happened.
There's like always one person jumping on this stream who is listening, but who presses like a negative thumb.
Who presses what?
Like a dislike on our stream on YouTube. There's always one person.
Aw, come on. Who is it? Is it your non-central?
Yep.
Super anonymous, make yourself known.
You're anonymous.
I don't know, probably they do it to troll us, I don't know. Whatever. We're not actually living off these likes, we don't ever make any money or whatever either, so we have no monetization on this channel and whatever. Like, just doesn't make sense if you want to vote us down. Like, yeah.
We don't do it for the money, right? We do it for the good cause, not for the money.
Do it for money, no, it's start some casino website or something.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Do not give me ideas. I may run with the shit.
Yeah, this is like a cryptocurrency casino.
No, shut up.
Yes.
Be like, yeah, okay, so yeah, the Craig Murray is super sad, of course. At the same time, we have all this shit happening to everyone. Like we have the Daniel Hale case, and we have to give Assange updates.
Oh, I mean, yeah, man, it's so much shit's going on this week, and there's also stuff to talk about with crypto and everything that's going on here in the U.S. So yeah, it's been a pretty busy week.
Well,
Why is everybody muted?
I'm not.
Why don't you guys just use push to talk? You know.
Yeah, I use push to talk always. Like, it also makes it much clearer. Like,
Yeah.
Discord doesn't pick up really well on your audio, so you will get like crappy audio sometimes when you talk. So better use push to talk.
Right. So oddly enough, they've been kind of allowing things to go through my account when I'm not talking about bad things to do with the VC. I've been actually getting like the ability to put out information and people see it now. I don't know.
Mad Mom, I sent you the link, so you can just join in. I'm not sure if you are already. I can't really see it.
So where to start?
Wait, with what?
Well, I mean, we already talked about Craig Murray. I mean, should we go into the Daniel Hale stuff and then go into Julian Assange and then everything else?
I guess that's a solid, like, related stream of topics.
All right. So, drone whistleblower Daniel Hale this week was imprisoned for, I believe it was 45 months.
45 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got sentenced to 45 months for blowing the whistle on the U.S. military drone program. So, anytime you see, like, people on social media going on about, like, oh, man, bro, did you hear my man Obama donates 10% of all his proceeds to charity? Like, Google Obama 10% and see what comes up. Like, hey, guys, that comes from Daniel Hale's leaks. So...
And that's peanuts for him, right? 10%, that's peanuts.
Mm-hmm.
But can't he appeal to that sentence?
I mean, to my knowledge, I haven't heard of any efforts to do that. I know that they were actually looking for an even harsher sentence for Daniel Hale.
Wow.
Like, I think they were looking for 8 years for him. Instead, they only got... Yeah. Instead, they only got 3 years and 9 months, but...
Treating whistleblowers like shit again, right? It makes me think about David McBride, too. Like, pretty much had a similar story, just like Daniel Hill was talking about drones, killing civilians with drones, and tagging them all as enemies without even checking it beforehand. And just like, okay, so the thing is, they call all the civilians enemies, unless there is evidence they aren't. That's a really sad thing. Like you fire at everyone, and then afterwards, yeah, you can check were they actually enemies or not.
Typical U.S. Army.
The fuck is up with that?
Shoot first
Yeah.
and ask questions later, right?
And it's a typical rule, like kill someone and then once you find out who they are, go to their record and be like, yeah, well, their third cousin served 2 tours with the Quds network. So, and bullshit like that. It's
Technically,
gross.
technically you can also appeal a guilty plea. Just saying. Like there's always a way to appeal this. You can always say you felt pressured by something and you have a different story now. Just not sure if a judge is going to listen to that kind of stuff, but you can.
Yeah, but the risk is if he appeals that he gets a higher sentence, right?
Well, okay. So when you're being prosecuted, they have their demands, right? And the demands are in the document. Maybe you can get a little higher if there is like new evidence showing up. Like if it takes longer for the case to and they come up with new evidence and new stuff, and they can include it in a case, or they come up with like because it takes so much time, there's a lot of costs involved, so they can say like you have to pay a higher like money fee or something.
Well, the thing is, if they don't find evidence, they will make evidence. You know how the government works, right? They
Yeah,
can
they can always try.
They can pin anything on you.
Yeah.
They just fabricate some new evidence, so-called evidence, and pin it on you. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Rob said, David McBride. So at the A4A thing last time, I was supposed to get on there. I had something else coming up real fast, but I did post that in their chat, and they mentioned it on air there. Andrew, about David McBride, because his story is he went to Afghanistan twice, actually 3 times, but 2 times for the army, and he went to he was in the Uruzgan area for the Australian army. In Uruzgan was also the Dutch were the replacements for the Australian army, and he, for the Australians, saw a lot of crimes happening against humans, against civilians, including torture of innocent civilians. I think it was like 23 or something, or 33 civilians to which were tortured. I should check it back, but I'm just doing it from the head. But he saw a lot of crimes against civilians, and later on he was vindicated by Dutch soldiers too. This is actually earlier this year. There was a court case in our country, and there were 2 Dutch army veterans with a similar story. They were talking about driving around in an armored vehicle, getting a weird radio call saying there were like terrorists in some building, and then they were suddenly firing in the middle of an urban area at some flat where civilians lived, and they saw civilians running outside. They had no guns, but they still fired at them, and and they were really traumatized over that. So there's a lot of shit happening there. And now you had the Daniel Hill thing where he mentioned they do the same thing with drones. They fire at civilians. So that's really shocking. And the fact that they gave Daniel Hill a prison sentence and not the actual soldiers who fired at civilians is shocking to me.
Yeah, well,
That's the story of justice in America, quite literally. It's punished the whistleblowers, but, what's that? Director of the CIA? Nope. Drone King? Nope. None of these people who actually, killed people and participated in a disgusting war machine. They get uplifted. They get spots on Ellen's show.
Yeah, apparently telling the truth is getting illegal, right?
Yeah, if you tell the truth about the wrong people, you just fucked. Like, David McBride has been hunted down for like what? Like it's now years, right? It's like they raided ABC, the whole media network, because of him.
He was having his kids threatened too at one point.
Where did they raid it?
Yeah, well, okay, so David McBride, he's a whistleblower from the army. He tried first through the military, he tried through the federal police, he tried through all like the official networks, and then when no one wanted to listen to him, he went to ABC, which in Australia is a different ABC than you have. So, and he went to them, and two journalists accepted his story, and like pretty much shortly after that, the entire building was raided, right? Like a huge federal raid by the Australian government. Yeah. But slowly the guy got vindicated. He kept on going, right? Pretty much alone, and he kept on going with his story, trying to get attention for it. And in the end, he got vindicated by literally soldiers from other countries having similar stories. Now we have Dutch veterans. Now we have Americans. Like Daniel Hill's an American, right?
Hmm.
So did you have Dutch and you have Americans vindicating the Australian story of David McBride, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome to see David McBride getting some more support. Just because that's.
I know Stars will soon talk some shit about the vaccine. I'm actually writing an article about that shit too. The dystopian future.
Well, you know, Mark, you can bring it to local leagues, right?
Hmm.
We will publish that stuff.
Yeah, I actually discussed something about that I think 2 days ago, but if only we were like 10 years earlier. But yeah,
Yeah.
there are certain documents which were never published by WikiLeaks, but I can assure you they were submitted to WikiLeaks. But yeah, I wish they were published, right?
Insurance files.
No, this is not insurance files.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, well, these documents aren't. I can't give details on it. But I know for a fact that there's files submitted that would have been very relevant right now, and
I know for a fact that there was files submitted to WikiLeaks that came from a certain hacked politician, and they haven't been published. So yes, they've been turned into insurance files. That's what they've been doing. Like, that's what Assange was doing during the whole entire thing years ago. A lot of files that were published or sent his way were turned into insurance files. That's why a lot of old Anons were pissed off at WikiLeaks, because certain files were turned into insurance files.
check your Telegram, please.
I know you're telling me to shut up.
Well, okay, so what we yeah, I don't know. Like there's just too much shit going on. We could have used some files which they don't exist anywhere else anymore. So just saying. That's the thing. But man, Mom, you're on the air.
Dead air.
Yeah. Okay. So we can do it real quick. I mean, like Star James Peterson talked about the whole vaccine. There is like polarization. Like you have the super in favor of vaccines, and you have the super anti-vaxxers. And it's getting really out of hand, even like in the activist world now.
Actually, I was in in a bit of a fight with my parents recently because of me still refusing to get the CV, you know. And they're like, no, it's my choice, you know, and you can't force me. It's crazy what France wants to do now, you know. They want to obligate the people to take the CV, right?
Yeah. In Italy, now in Greece too.
But I'm not sure if the European Union will agree to it because it goes against human rights, right? I mean, it's still.
Of course,
We have
they're
a
gonna
great reset to start here. The great reset.
Yeah, well, they tried it here too, but it is in our constitution that we have full control over what goes into a body and not, and they can't force us by law to do it. So we have a little bit of different constitution than these countries like France. So they won't do it here. They tried it.
But yeah, you know, try to do that in France. If the people are upset about it, you know what happens, right? I mean, especially France, because they are quite infamous about protesting, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they block the whole highways and everything, you know.
Yeah.
Yellow Jackets.
There were variances between like clashes with police and police like outright taking off their helmets and standing in solidarity with them. It's something.
In that aspect, we in the Netherlands could you know, chip off a little bit of them, you know, because a lot of Dutch people are just talkers and not doers, you know.
I know that. I feel your pain.
Yeah, it's like a lot of blah blah blah, but when it comes to action, everybody is like, no, I'm watching, you know. No, not watch. Go on the streets, protest, you know.
Yeah, like, no, sorry. We don't have time for you to be a pussy, I'm sorry.
Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, but like here, like people only protest if like everything is fucked up. It's like it takes a lot for them to start really protesting.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a small stream of ongoing protests here in America, but like they don't get really big unless some huge event happens that like triggers some sort of like like you know, last summer it was George Floyd, and then this summer it was Sheikh Jarrah and everything happening in Palestine, which was amazing. But yeah.
Yeah, George Floyd was not just a trigger in America; it was worldwide a trigger, right?
Mhm.
I mean, worldwide, people from BLM were protesting.
Mhm.
Which is actually a good thing, you know, because it brings awareness, right?
Yeah, I mean, never stop. Because, like, just getting out there, you never know how many people you can reach that day. Like if one person walks over to your demonstration and you have a conversation with them, that can make all the difference in the future.
Of course. But yeah, you know, what they were yelling like defund the police, not entirely, but they need to re-educate the police, right? And take out the rotten apples.
Demilitarize, yes.
Yeah, and take out the rotten apples, like the extreme racist cops, right?
Yeah, well, and I mean, like, I'm I'm an abolitionist too, because I mean, especially with everything that the FreeCommanderX case is kind of showing us, we really do have a rotten rotten carceral system.
Mm-hmm. Ah, seems you have a fan, Glory. In the YouTube chats, Vic Mambo
Is it Rob? Oh,
Vic
hi,
Mambo
Vic.
with a heart and then Glory Jones. So you have a fan, apparently.
Rob's in chat too. Was good, Rob. Was good, Mad Mom.
Do I got a mic check yet, or?
Mic check.
We
Okay,
can hear you.
see, I forgot. I plugged in my wired one so that I could just hit the on-off switch and not have to download Discord on, the device, because I can't find my freaking thumb drives. And so, yeah, hey, you guys, I figured out that nobody could hear me when nobody said anything when I said something. So I'm going to mute while I finish my dishes. So back to the show.
Okay.
Also, from my side, hi, Mad Mom.
Right.
But yeah, defunding the police, I'm not sure if that's a entirely good idea, because, if you defund them, crime will rise again. But yeah, demilitarize, I agree with that, and re-educate the police, and weed out the rotten apples.
I mean, I advocate for just getting everybody a rifle, and then everyone can be police themselves. And I don't think that there would be a very high rate of crime if everybody knew that somebody had a gun.
It's not as high, that's for sure. But I
That's
also
fair.
that we have to, demilitarize the police, and more importantly, stop training them, with military tactics.
Well, and
So
have
it's
no federal police force, no large corporate conglomerate making up your private security firms. Whatever it is, it has to be community controlled, because there's so many instances where you get cops coming from the suburbs and the rich areas going to police poor black and brown people, and they're already naturally scared.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we just actually changed the legislation in Kansas City due to those very same issues. So if there's a problem in your community, in your state, country, whatever, it's gonna be up to you to fix it, because the oligarchs aren't gonna do it for us. They're kind of the enemy here.
We were just talking about this on Slow News Day. Had on Garland Nixon and Sky Daddy, and Garland, former police officer with I think it was Fish and Game was what he was. He was a fish cop. I don't think he was a cop, but nonetheless, he trained.
More authority.
Yeah.
That's they're at ranger status,
But he trained police officers, all that kind of thing, and he was saying more or less what both you and Jones were, or the exact, similar sentiment. And it's demilitarize, it's stop the battlefield to precinct pipeline that seems to dominate the cop landscape, and all of the problems that defund the police seeks to address, all of the solutions they offer.
They should more screening, racist background screening when you want to join the police force. I mean, if you have ties to some racist group, nope, sorry, you're not gonna get.
Look, if you have ties to a racist group, hopefully your community is one that only purely looks like you. I'm not trying to say like you have to thought police or whatever. But I mean, yeah, obviously, if you're connected to a fucking murderous group or anything like that, you should not have the ability to have a badge and a gun and determine the fate of anyone, let alone people who don't look like you.
Well, that happens all the time here, though, because you have, you have gang members that get on the police force. They have such a hard time.
Yeah, in Los Angeles, they're called the executioners.
Yeah, I've seen them in action.
The
That's crazy out there.
Banditos, the Vikings. It's actually.
Hey, what is that
Google
execution?
LASD gangs.
What is that executioners? I've never heard of that.
It's the name of a sheriff's gang in Los Angeles County.
There are sheriff's gangs?
I didn't know about it until I watched it on a slow news day stream either, Mark. I was like, dude, what, fam? And then they played the clip live, and I was like, what kind of freaking cartoon do we actually live in?
Could someone show that clip or something?
They're just criminals hiding behind a badge. Right?
Yeah. Like, these aren't even necessarily like former gang members that became sheriff. Like, no, these are, sheriffs that became sheriffs and then they were initiated into a gang while they were sheriff. Like, the whole thing is that they get tattoos. Yeah, the whole thing is that they get tattoos and they set little quotas for themselves and, they do weird shit, weird initiation shit like that. And then they just do a bunch of like you said, really cult shit, honestly.
And gangster shit.
Yeah.
And the best
They
part
run
is
guns, they run women,
right?
they run fucking drugs, like all that. There are multiple different, like throughout the country. And you fucking, every once in a while, they'll piss off the wrong person. And they'll get popped. I remember a few years ago, Jones, it was like, the entirety of there was police departments all over South Florida that got rolled up in it. And it was like a drug running thing. Alamo, maybe you remember it too. But like they rolled up a fuck ton of people.
Well,
all the time, though.
Florida is known as the drug gateway from America, right?
On that side of the country, sure. But anywhere there's a port.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, I can't even, I know what you're talking about, but that's all the time here.
Yeah, dude, straight up fucking, the cops are themselves a gang.
The CIA is like the biggest drug traffickers and human traffickers of all time. Like, the war on drugs created more crime and privatized prison systems than Agent Orange did Agent Orange in freaking Vietnam. So original criminals here.
See, and that's the issue that they should address. Like I said, weed the bad cops out.
What do you do with them after?
Imprison them for all the crimes that they did.
No.
I don't want to get y'all kicked off YouTube.
No. What you do with them after is you spay and neuter them.
Okay, yeah. That's totally what I was thinking.
Yeah,
as the saying goes, you do the crime, you do the time, right? And it should be no different for a cop. If they do crimes, they should do the time.
Well, yeah, that's how it should go, but that's not how it works, Ted.
No, I know, but I hope to put them in the general population.
It's called Blue Code, and there's not just one gang of police. There's many gangs of police across the U.S. And the biggest gang of police are members of the fraternity.
Oh, that went very skull and bones us very quickly, AK.
Mm. Well, that's what it is. I mean, like years ago, a certain hacking group released a whole bunch of files on the fraternity of police, and there was multiple mentions of gang activity inside the police. But nobody pays attention to that.
Well, yeah, Garland was talking about that too, and he said the dumbest possible thing on the planet anybody could have ever allowed to happen is allowing the police to investigate the police, and having it be in-house investigations that determine whether or not any wrongdoing was going on. Because even somebody who is in internal affairs, maybe they want to work in the field, maybe they, like everybody's doing each other favors, nobody's trying to out the bad cops.
And you can't even trust the feds, because even there is corruption. And
well, they're the fucking worst. What do you mean you can't trust the feds?
yeah, exactly. There's corruption in there too.
They're worse than the fucking police, man. The higher up feds, holy shit, their closets are so dirty.
Many skeletons in the closet, right?
Yeah. Well, the thing is, these organized gangs within government that are in intelligence agencies, they use blackmail on public officials and on the hammer, one of the NSA whistleblowers said. He said that they use the hammer on various different public officials, and I mean, it's crazy when you go down that rabbit hole, because then you realize how much everybody's compromised in some form of way, with some form of blackmail, whether it's drugs, fucking pedophilia, whatever it is. I mean, they use blackmail, the intelligence officials, they use blackmail against certain people to get what they want.
Well, the biggest drug dealer of America still is the CIA.
Yeah, but they're also the biggest serial killers too, because they mass murder and kill people and assassinate people. But allegedly, right? They're not supposed to do it on American soil, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't happen.
Exactly, they
Case
do.
in point, what happened to Danny Casolaro? He sliced his wrist 10 times on each wrist, and they said he had killed himself. But the documents that I released show that he had poison in his spine. He was injected with poison in his spine.
And how do you slit your wrist 10 times? If you do it like 2 or 3 times, then you already, if you do it right, you're already bled to death.
Oh, they were
Actually, if you do it right, you can do it the first time. But like most people that slit their wrist, they do it, like horizontally. But if you're actually trying to do it to murder yourself, and I'm not giving suicidal tips because it's not cool, is that you do it vertically, because that's the only way.
Railroad tracks, not railroad ties.
Oh yeah. God, you're getting us banned for that one. All right, yeah, but yeah, so he did deep cuts into his wrist, right? I mean, everybody's seen the pictures of Danny Casolaro's wrist cut, and they're fucking grotesque. They are so deep. It is crazy that they would rule that as suicide. Obviously, in that situation, the coroner had to be paid off. The autopsy specialist had to be paid off. Everyone in that case who was involved in calling that a suicide had to have been paid off in some form or way, or they were threatened and blackmailed themselves. And that's the thing with these intelligence agencies, is that you don't know who's running these operations. When there's people in these intelligence agencies, they form gangs or groups within the intelligence agency because they have resources, right? And then they use that information to abuse. In that case, they used it to kill Danny Casolaro, set him up, and have him killed. but the poison that was found in his spine came actually from a military base.
It's
And,
the same as somebody would shoot himself 2 times in the head, and they call it suicide. Yeah, right.
Well, that happened with the banker suicides when I was documenting that years ago. There was a banker who killed himself with 2 shots to the head with a nail gun. So, yeah, I
That's
mean,
plausible, but with a gun, yeah, I think
with a
you
nail
would-
gun, my friend, a nail gun to your head, 1 shot is all it will take. After that,
if you do it right.
you're not moving. Your finger is not clicking that button anymore.
Oh no, and that's a brutal way to die too. That's like, ugh.
That's a mafia killing. That's what it is.
Yeah, that's like super, like, yeah, like hardcore. And I haven't seen these pictures that you just referenced, but I think I'll take a hard pass on that and just believe you.
They were in my article on Promise software, Octopus Promise, but yeah, they're very deep cuts. And it makes no sense for somebody to say that somebody sliced both of their wrists 10 times on each wrist and said that was a suicide.
Yeah, like
In
I
the
said,
bathtub.
yeah, right. Yeah, right.
In a hotel bathtub. He was found in a hotel bathtub and said that he killed himself. But he's not the only journalist that died covering Promise. A lot of people died covering Promise, not only journalists but witnesses as well. So I mean, yeah, it's the definition and the start of corruption within the military-industrial complex, because the whole Promise affair started in the 1980s. The late 1980s, and that was with George H.W. Bush as vice president and Ronald Reagan as president. And from sources, George H.W. Bush was basically behind most of the operations in the 1980s for the CIA, and operated from within the actual White House as the vice president. But he was calling the shots on a lot of this stuff that was going on in the 1980s, including Promise and
Never was a fan of Bush.
and Iran-Contra. So yeah, I mean, it's very interesting to kind of go through that period of history, because it was the same period of history where we set up BCCI. Under the CIA, it was William Casey that set it up, and yeah, I mean, basically the 1980s with Iran-Contra, there was a congressional hearing, and during that hearing, even Daniel Inouye, a senator at the time in Hawaii, he said that the CIA had created a shadowy government, or its own shadowy military and government. So yeah, that's the point in history where everything kind of started to go downhill. Was the 1980s, and then the 1990s you had Bill Clinton right after that, and Bill Clinton came in, and him and Hillary, I mean, their whole entire governor, when Bill was governor and everything, there was corruption when he was in governor. Everyone that was in Arkansas, they brought with them to the White House and into appointed into various different positions within the government. And I mean, the corruption that started from the 1980s was really bad. But then, you know, immediately after that, we had
I mean, come on.
we had Bill Clinton, and then we had George W. Bush. So I mean, there's always been those two families that have basically had control over the intelligence agencies.
I mean, if you play that game, you know, associating words. If you say Clinton, you just immediately think about corruption, right? I mean, the whole Clintons are known for corruption and doing shady shit.
No. Actually, I associate the word Clinton with kill list.
Yep.
And they're not the only ones either. There's a kill list of the Bush family too. That most people don't even know exist because all they do is they look up the Clinton kill list and they say, "Oh, well, the Clintons have a whole bunch of people around them that just dropped dead, huh?" Yeah, the Bush family as well. They're both mafia families. Trump was a mafia family as well, but Bush and Clinton have been some of the worst, and they are basically the core reason that we have corruption within intelligence agencies and in government.
Mm-hmm. Well, like I said, I never was a big fan of Bush, senior and junior. Never been a fan.
Well, yeah, I mean, you look at what happened with Bush Jr. and invading Iraq and Afghanistan. He was basically just finishing where his father left off.
Yep.
Pretty much.
That's the truth.
I know it's just all the same establishment, right? I mean, pretty much just pawns in the game.
It is, but the cronies that were inserted into government with Bush Senior, and then Bush, and then Clinton, and then Bush Jr. You know, they like from now to then. I mean, some of them are still in government. Especially the junior ones. The ones from Bill Clinton are starting to retire. Because obviously they're basically the same age as Bill Clinton, right? In some ways, some of them a little bit younger, but you get the point. But the ones from Bush Senior, those guys are mostly dead.
How old is Clinton now? 70 something, right?
But he's in like his 80s. He looks like he's 93, but.
Who?
He must have ran out of adrenochrome.
74. Bill Clinton.
The AK was just talking about, man. I love their project names. They always have the greatest project names. Like I think one of those ones was Shamrock. Oh, not Lowell.
Yeah. That's a real project name. Yeah, they have some interesting project names. But what Kennedy did was he crossed Bush Senior because he had the whole Operation Zapata mission, right? And Zapata was a oil factory that was actually owned by George H.W. Bush. I think it was an oil factory. It's either an oil factory or a fruit company. I can't remember now. There's a fruit company that ties into Kennedy's assassination. I just can't remember off the top of my head.
Well, you see that is also really shady because what was it? 2 or 3 years ago they released some documents about the assassination of Kennedy, but still a lot of it is censored, right? So you see there is a lot of shady shit going on in that as well.
Yeah, they're still holding so much shit. I mean, that's ultimately one of the things that Trump completely choked on was the release of more JFK docs. But
I still believe that that was a 3-letter agency behind it.
yeah, I mean,
You know, the biggest drug dealer of America. Those. Not gonna name them, but because I don't want the street to get cut off again, but you know who I mean, right?
I think they're watching us already, to be fair.
Big Brother is watching you. Ha ha ha. But yeah, that whole story with Oswald, I don't buy it, you know.
Nah, man, I totally buy the magic bullet theory. What you mean?
He was just
Weird guys.
He was just a fall guy.
Oh, and AK, Mariana in the chat says before Kennedy was killed, he fired Alan Dulles, and his brother was on the board of United Fruit Corporations. That caused the Banana Wars. Or Chiquita Banana.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what's really weird? Like, I've never had this happen before, so I was gonna like jump and see if I could remember, like the fruit company name for AK. So I jumped to WikiLeaks real quick and like searched for some JFK stuff, and I've never ever in the history of searching WikiLeaks like typed something in the box, for like, narrowing down and got 0 results. So maybe it was my browser trip, and I'm gonna try one more time. But I thought that was weird.
That sounds actually so funny. Banana Wars. Right?
You don't mess with the United States Fruit Trust and the Dole Company and shit like that,
Yeah, like I didn't even type anything about the fruit company in. Like I legitimately just typed in JFK assassination and it said no items. Like what? That's not true. Let me change my search query.
But yeah, like I said, Oswald was just a fall guy, but we all know who was behind that. Right?
Yeah.
I wrote a whole report on all of this stuff. It's Ted Gunderson's information. He was convinced that George H.W. Bush, along with Frank Sturgis, and E. Howard Hunt, killed John F. Kennedy. And it was a hit squad of people. And just recently, in the released documents, we saw that they said that there was bullets that had hit the front of the windshield. And that's only possible if there was multiple shooters.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, one shooter couldn't pull that off, right? I mean, angle-wise, it doesn't fit at all, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, if you literally believe in magic bullets, it's physically impossible for Lee Harvey Oswald to be a single shooter.
Yeah, and when
if Lee Harvey Oswald did kill Kennedy, who was killing the witnesses around JFK?
Yeah, good question.
Oh, I know. That's the dangerous question.
Like I said, the 3-letter agencies. Right?
Yeah.
It would have to be, because guess what? Oswald was killed walking out.
Yeah.
He was rushed and shot by, oh my god, I can't remember his name now.
Is it Jack something, or am I tripping? Yeah.
Jack Ruby, thank you.
Yeah.
Only a boomer would know that.
And yeah, well, that people can shoot other people, right? So yeah, there had to be several shooters.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, and there were witnesses saying that too.
Anyway, whoever the shooter was, he was a damn good shot, right?
I found what I was looking for. I'll put it in the YouTube chat.
You got to remember the well-dressed guys that were picked up in the grassy knoll. Everybody forgets that too. The well-dressed hobos.
Yeah.
when Trump was president, I couldn't resist making that comment a few times. You know, like where is Oswald when you need one?
Oh my god.
Jeez, God.
AK Pamela Drew in the Rockvin chat says your memory is for both is correct. Said Zapata Petroleum was formed in '53. Bush got money from Brown Brothers, Harriman, and with partners Hugh and Bill Leitka formed
And then
Zapata.
the documents disappeared. Yeah.
And then in '69, Zapata made a tender for a United Fruit Company. Richard Gow was on the board of directors. Same year, Eli Black took over for the company, and Zapata was paid substantial stock. Now I'm getting some links, so I'll drop that in the chat here.
Right. I never dug that far into the Zapata and the fruit company. I didn't know that much about it, as you just said. I knew they had a connection, and I did mention they had a connection, but I didn't know it was that deep.
Yeah, it's overthrow countries deep. But the credit on that info goes to Pamela. Yeah.
I'm trying to think when it was used as a front for. Man, what was going on at that time period? I can't.
United Fruit Company like partially involved in the coup in Honduras.
That's it. Honduras. Yeah.
Crazy because I just got a text message from my favorite ex who is currently in Honduras.
I don't think she's not your favorite ex. That's all I got to say. I think it's sarcasm.
No, she is. Hands down, dude, my favorite ex. I fucking absolutely love this woman. I do.
I have zero contact with any of my exes. That's a long story, but it's best that way. You know, my last ex, she
That's
got
because
enough.
when you break up, Ted, you're not supposed to take gasoline, dump it on their car, and then throw a match on it.
Huh?
How did you know that?
If you do that, then please don't get caught. My lord. No, I'm still cool with all my exes too. Like, so I can like relate to Steve and his favorite ex comment there.
Well,
I just try not to leave in life and like on that bad of terms that, you know what I mean? Like I wouldn't help you if you had like a flat tire on the side of the road or something, but I don't know. Not everybody's like me, I guess.
I hate all my exes equally as much. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm actually friends with most of my exes.
Well, most of my exes we didn't part on good terms, so yeah.
Yeah, even the ones that we didn't break up on the best of terms, there's most of them. There's only a couple that it's like, yeah, no, we're not.
All right, this is Anonymous Bites Back. This is Anonymous Bites Back, not relationship advice.
Welcome to Love Line.
Yeah, I was gonna.
The love boat.
We are taking your calls tonight, Sandusky, Ohio.
Oh my God.
ABB.
Although Sandusky would be Pennsylvania, not Ohio, but you know.
I thought there was a Sandusky. I'm pretty sure there's a Sandusky, Ohio.
Yeah, there is,
I
a
thought
city
you
in
were
Ohio.
making a joke. I thought you were making a joke about Sandusky. You know, the fucking pedophile in.
Oh yeah, no. Although now that you say that, I could see why you would
Yeah.
totally see it.
Yeah.
Not the intention, but yeah. Jerry Sandusky, right?
Yep. Jerry and his son. Which, while we're on the on the subject and Second Mile, I mean, Second Mile. Look at everybody who invested and put money into that. They're all fucking pedophiles. Every
Yeah.
last one of them.
Yeah.
Well, and how fucked up is it that Simone Biles wants to not fucking be like not in the best spot in her head on the Olympic team because she's been molested for years. And they're like, no, you gotta fucking do the flippy flips.
Don't even get me started on that shit. Oh my god.
Yo, dude, the Olympic, like, for fucking years, dude, the Olympics have had me big mad.
Big mad, and this has got me on rage too. Like I'm with you there. And does anybody know like what's up with her brother and the acquittal of murder charges or something? Like I haven't had a chance to look into that. Like
I don't know, but like the thing is if you're not in the mindset while you're doing like 20,000 flips in the air, you're gonna seriously injure yourself. Like I don't know why that can't get through people's heads.
Yeah, like how the fact that she even made it to the Olympics. Hello, give her a medal, a couple of them, and not made out of recycled stuff. Not that recycling's bad, but yeah.
Actually, I don't follow the Olympics at all. You know.
No, me neither.
Yo,
Me
no,
neither,
so
but
I don't usually.
But
This is out of the Olympics. Like I said, the Olympics in general have had me big mad for years, and I just haven't fucking paid attention. But this year in particular, because there's a couple of people on the MCSC network with us that have a sports show. And it's excellent. Hear Me Out Sports. Pedro and Brooks are kick ass, dude. But because they've been covering it, I've been checking in on it, and like it's just if you could transfer the worst elements of DC and put them in charge of sports, you would have the International Olympic Committee, and because they're so craven, corrupt, and just monstrous, that trickles down to where everyone involved at that level is just fucking pieces of shit.
The IOC
Like
is in bed with every fucking dictatorship and Gulf monarchy you can think of. Like, the amount of bribing that goes on in the Olympic bidding process alone is enough to make the entire deal corrupted, on top of the massive strain that the Olympics puts on a country, which is why a lot of fucking people within countries don't want the Olympics. Like in Japan, they were literally protesting outside the stadium while the opening ceremony was taking place. They've mounted an opposition front to the Olympics, No Olympics LA, in Los Angeles, that's been there for like, a couple of years now at this point. I mean, like, people in these cities don't want the Olympics to happen. I'm saying this as a fucking sports fan. Like, it's bad.
Wait.
Be honest, it's just a distraction anyway. It's just distraction. We're at circuses, right?
All right. Well, in Japan, I mean, the reason being is COVID and the fact that they're bringing a whole bunch of people from all over the world to one stadium for a couple weeks of fun and games to their city and town.
Did
you
but I mean, historically, there's always been resistance to Olympics being hosted in the city.
Well, right before the whole pandemic virus was leaked, there was the military Olympics, since we're on the subject.
Right. Over there in the Wuhan. Did you guys see where Tim Dillon had a video fact check? Because I'll just, if you'll indulge me, I'll just play it. But Tim Dillon puts this out. He gets fact checked. And that is one of the many reasons why we live in a fucking cartoon. But here we go.
But like I said,
this got fact checked. Real quick, 56 seconds.
Oh. The audio is really low.
This got fact checked.
The audio is really low, by the way.
So that got fact checked.
But like I said, the whole Olympics for me is just bread and circuses. It's just distraction.
Are you sure it's not Doritos and chocolate milk?
Right, it could be peanut butter and jelly sandwiches with the crust cut off and Kool-Aid.
Well, I mean, the funny thing is, I mean, there was people who were sharing. There was people that were sharing that, and they thought it was legit. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Oh, but on that note of the Olympics, though, 2 judo athletes, one from Algeria and then another from Sudan, I think, they did drop out of judo because they found out that they would be matched up with an Israeli athlete, so they dropped out to not legitimize a genocidal Zionist occupation. So props to individual athletes, at least.
And by the way, there were also a lot of complaints from the Dutch athletes who had to go to the quarantine hotel. That is like a fucking Japanese war camp there, you know.
Yeah, athletes get treated like shit.
There was no light, no daylight. They couldn't open a window or anything, you know. There was not even a window there. The food was terrible.
Well, that's because they're trying to isolate everyone to make sure nobody's sick going into the games, and they already did tests on people and found people with COVID, that word, and yeah, I didn't realize what I did, Glory. But yeah, so they found people that were infected, and they had to drop out of the games. So yeah. I mean, I think it had like 10 people already. I mean, it was pretty high. For the amount of people that are actually there, because it just spreads rapidly.
But yeah, those quarantine hotels, those are like Japanese war camps.
Yeah, doesn't surprise me.
I mean,
but I was going to say about that Tim Dillon video. There was actually 2 news organizations that shared that as a story, and then had to delete the article. I just found it really funny because that means they can't fact check. They literally reported it as Olympics commentator gets fired.
Whoops.
Yeah, it was great. There was also a whole bunch of reporters that like quote tweeted it as well, and they fell for it, and then they deleted their tweets after.
Yeah, it went up
people
on
don't know
World
how to
Star.
verify shit.
It went up on World Star the next, like, the producer fired thing. I think that was where it first caught fire.
Like, I remember the East European athletes in the 80s. Damn, the women look like dudes.
What?
Yeah, that's a little thing called state-sponsored steroids.
Yeah, it was hilarious to see, you know, like there comes normal women, you know, and then comes East European women, like boom.
Yeah, the Russian flag and anthem is actually currently banned for the Olympics, from the Olympics. If you look at all their athletes, it's the Russian Olympic Committee, not Russia, because their flag and anthem were banned due to state-sponsored doping back in the 2014 Olympics it was.
Yeah,
Which they used slave labor to build the stadium in Sochi, by the way.
Actually, I saw a documentary about that, and some of the women are men now. You know, they had the sex change because they had so many male hormones that you know, they were practically male. Crazy, right? And yeah, there was all state sponsored.
Just a disclaimer: these are not opinions of this show, just about of individual panel members.
It's just a fact that happened.
Ted said something bad, and Mark wants to try to clean up.
I'm only trying to keep these episodes up. That's all.
I know, right? I was like, gosh, you know, it's getting real when Mark's giving the disclaimer, like, I'm not a Trump fan, but, like, what? Say that kind of crap now? Like, whoa, wait.
I know, but it's 2021. There's like, we're now in this situation that, yeah, we have to choose one evil over the other.
Steroids is a big problem, though, specifically in track.
I literally dropped everything I was doing. I think I was locked in the inversion table, and I was like, Mark just had to give that disclaimer? Like, what the fuck? Like, it's insane. Like, everybody should know that, but I don't think it can get much worse, guys. I don't. The world's being destroyed by fucking psychopaths at a rapid pace. Like, Ivan and Color, stop fucking arguing over party politics.
Well, speaking of the world being destroyed, there's a bad drought happening in, this is just a segue, there's a bad drought happening in Minnesota right now, which is not only leading to a bunch of wildfires, but it's exacerbating the environmental concerns that come along with the Line 3 pipeline. So that's a big problem. And I've been looking through the hashtag Stop Line 3 trend for a bit now, and some people are even saying that the pipeline already leaked. I don't know if that's true. I haven't verified it, but I mean, the water supply is very much in jeopardy with the building of this pipeline. So that's why protesters are coming out every day to try and block the Enbridge from drilling and building the pipeline. That's on native land, by the way, Anishinaabe specifically. So it's violating the treaties that people have with the indigenous, and to the tune of no media coverage.
Yeah, because they still don't care, and like, I don't know if it's leaked yet or not either, but yet is the operative word, because if it hasn't, like, it will, like,
yeah,
they always do.
Well, historic takes like 2 to 5 years for a pipeline to leak.
But it always goes like that, you know. The reserve is you know, the reserve is for them, unless the government needs it. Then they take it away again, you know. It always goes like that.
I just want to comment on the drought situation, because I got detailed instructions on how to actually stop this drought.
Are you gonna do some cloud seeding?
Oh boy.
All right, so you take dry ice, right? You fly in a plane, and you drop that dry ice. Well, it's got to be a lot of dry ice. So it's not like just a bag of dry ice. I mean, but you're gonna need a couple tons of dry ice, and when you drop that dry ice into the clouds, then you're gonna need to hijack a tank, because you're gonna have to break into HARP.
Oh, okay.
You're gonna have to break into HARP and then use their giant fucking microwave.
Can't you just get the
on the
password?
cloud. No, because you have to. No, because you have to. Oh, well, I guess. Yeah, I guess you can get a password.
I think that's the university has access now to ARP.
Well, anyway,
That's
use
just
a
satire.
giant
That's just
fucking
satire.
microwave heater. Okay, use a giant microwave heater, and you aim its coordinates right there at that cloud that you just cloud seeded, and then you heat up the ionosphere, and you create rain.
Well, dropping
That's
dry
so
ice
practical,
wouldn't be
AK.
good for the environment because dry ice is
It's
actually
so practical. I literally just told you what they do.
Yeah, but it's now the University of Alaska Fairbanks Geophysical Institute that has also access to it.
Well, they own it now.
Yeah, well, who can do the towers at HARP though? Because I'm just saying, if anybody out there on the internet, has some control over the HARP towers, because you turn it down because they're up too high or something, it really messes with my spinal cords. So please.
dropping dry ice, not good for the environment because dry ice basically it's frozen CO2.
Well, okay, so they do it a number of different ways. Dry ice is the old way they used to do it. Now they see the atmosphere also with metallics because it helps heat up the atmosphere to be able to cause rain and to cause that precipitation to even start. Because you need heat to kind of bring precipitation. So they heat up the ionosphere, and then they also, at the same time, seed the clouds with sodium. What is it? Sodium sulfide iodate, I think it is. I'm not 100% sure on the chemicals that they use, but you can find it. Look up my article.
That sounds right. Okay, sorry, I was doing dishes still because I wasn't doing dishes earlier. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm somewhere close with the chemicals anyway. But they use those chemicals. They heat up the clouds and heat up the ionosphere, and that's how they cause rain. It's basic fucking science. I mean, if you think about it, but everyone likes to say cloud seeding doesn't exist.
Yeah, they do like to say that. Like I that's why I posted that freaking little documentary earlier that like legitimately shows like the Senate hearings and stuff. Like back in the what was it like? I don't know.
Yeah, Congress years ago.
Yes, like they don't care if it's good for the earth, Ted. Like they don't care. Like if you can control the weather,
If you don't believe cloud seeding exists, Beijing 2008.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. I mean, like the fucking Chinese have done way worse than what the Americans have with cloud seeding. And they proved it. And they've been able to stop rain and start rain. What the fuck, Steve?
Oh, sorry, I forgot to mute. It was a tin of strawberry, like a plastic thing of strawberries. It's a container. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Okay, that sounds legit.
But yeah, so cloud seeding. I mean, like everyone likes to say that the government wouldn't spray chemicals. I mean, like really, the government did spray chemicals. The Operation LAC, they sprayed fucking cancerous chemicals that gave people cancer and caused them to die. So they did that in both the U.S. and Canada.
How
So,
they did spread did spray what was it? DDT in the 20s, 30s somewhere.
Yeah, all the dioxin all the way into like the 50s and 60s. I have to open up another window to give you the name of the ghost town here in Missouri or whatever that's like still messed up to like this day. Like nobody can live there because some innocent farmer used to like buy like the pollution runoff from a Dow corporation. My bad, it wasn't Dow.
You're talking about insecticides that they're spraying amongst the people. That can be healthy, right?
Yeah, they did it right over a city, like in the black area. Imagine that in St. Louis, like
Yeah, that's Operation LAC.
late 80s or 90s. Yeah.
That's LAC. They sprayed St.
Yeah.
Louis, Texas, Canada, parts of Canada. Yeah, that's Operation LAC. And what they did, it wasn't insecticide. It was some type of chemical that would cause coughing, and they knew that it would give people cancer, and they tested it and said that they did it because of, in case the Russians invaded the U.S., they would have a weapon. So they used it against the people and tested it.
Yeah, so it was okay for them to like spray that city while they slept innocently at nighttime with their, military crafts right over the top of them, and like it really did happen. And that's even like public news. So
No, but with the
Operation Large Scale Coverage.
Well,
same
I'm-
corporation, the problem, like.
what I meant with the insecticides, it was DDT. There was an insecticide. There was poison, pure poison. What they were spraying amongst the people.
Yeah, well, and you're right about the insecticides and the crops and stuff too. That's why I'm always making the comments about the seeds. Like they literally control the seed market, and you know what I mean. Like this year, the seeds that they sold all the farmers that they made the farmers take, or you can't grow food or whatever.
Seeds.
Pretty much, a lot of them only produce like 1 ear of corn because they want there to be a crisis in those crops, so they just manipulate stuff and modify it, and voila. They dominate the market. So
nowadays, the seeds are already coated with pesticides, right?
Yeah, that's what I was referencing. Absolutely, that's if you have heirloom seeds, definitely save them.
Well, I grow my own tomatoes, and I use the seeds from the tomatoes to grow new tomatoes again. So
I got a really good question, and I know everyone in the audience is wondering this too.
Oh God, I feel like I know what he's gonna ask.
So Ted, do you also have a chocolate cow out back?
I know where it's going.
I couldn't resist that one. Come on.
I didn't understand what he was saying because.
Oh! I said, do you also have a chocolate cow out back?
Yeah. from Milka. The purple one.
What?
Wait, what?
I'm not sure if people have that in the USA, Tad. I know what you mean,
I
but
was gonna say purple. Like I mean, like
I don't know
pink
what
and
he just.
strawberry.
Mark, I need a translation, please.
There was a commercial. Here on TV a long time ago from the chocolate company Milka, and they had like a cow with purple spots instead of black and white. There was white and purple. So that's why.
Oh, okay, that cow has a disease. I would not drink that milk.
Are you kidding me? Maybe it's psychedelic. Absolutely drink that milk.
Cow and acid.
It's a chance on whether you're going to die or you're going to trip. But when it comes to that, I mean, yeah, or both.
That's a parameter you're setting. That's not a parameter nature set, AK. That's your interpretation.
Well, what's the other options there?
What the purple cow is gonna give me, so.
I mean, anything that I see that is a different color than it should be, I assume it has a disease or some type of, virus.
Whoa!
Awful racist.
Whoa! Pause.
I have to give this disclaimer again, right?
Hey, hold up, sir. AK isn't sure you should be that color. I'm fucking.
Disclaimer: we were talking about food, not people.
What did you call me?
No, he said anything in nature. People are
That
natural.
was really borderline
People. I was
racist.
and plants.
That was really borderline racist.
Wait. Now I have a question for Steve. Do you eat people?
Do you eat McDonald's?
I mean, are we in what sense are we using the word eat here? I have never consumed human flesh.
No, you eat.
If that makes you feel better.
Well, unless you go to Kentucky Fried Chicken and find a finger in your chicken nuggets.
That's not really chicken and chicken nuggets. And
Right.
Kentucky Fried Chicken will have like 3D printed meat soon if they don't already. But
Yeah, but it's mechanically separated chicken parts.
yeah,
Yep.
4 meats.
Good. What do you mean?
It did happen. It did happen that somebody found a finger in it. You know.
Oh, yeah, that's gross.
So
That will occasionally happen.
Somebody crapped in the refried beans in the Taco Bell like a long time ago. And I was like, whoa, disgruntled employee must. I think I was like 10 when that happened. I was like, wow, I didn't eat at Taco Bell for like 15 years.
Well, I mean, it can't be all of them, right?
Right. Well,
Can't be all
I
of
don't
them.
know. During the 90s, we had Indian out there. And, I don't know how many
Law of averages says that probably not every Taco Bell has human feces in the refried beans. Probably. Although.
Oh, God.
dude, you don't even want to know how many insects that we eat each year.
You're right. I don't.
Yeah.
So don't say it.
That's funny.
I mean,
Insects. Every time
I
you're
already
swimming
know,
at the
I already
beach and
know.
you swallow seawater.
Mr. Lubby here told us that that basically you guys eat insects and they're for sale at your supermarkets, and I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you people?
Well, it's true. Yeah. Yep.
Klaus Schwab
Yeah,
the shit
people
out
do
of here.
that.
That's what I was thinking. Like, God, we got to the World Economic Forum crap really quick
Yeah, but like
again.
it's street food, and it's also street food in like some countries too.
I mean, I'm not
Yeah,
sure
Jumbo
if,
sells them. Jumbo sells them, and they sell like burgers made out of insects. But if they won't tell you, you won't notice the difference, though. So, just
Okay,
saying.
here's the deal. Like, if I live to see the time where it is necessary for my survival to have to eat bugs because I can no longer kill anything else, like, I'm not above it. However, it's not quite that bad here yet. And like,
But you-
Or you can move next to the ocean and eat some squid.
but you know,
even
even
sticks and fishing, like.
Well, here's the thing about
Even
eating
normal
squid,
food.
too. All those squids
Whoa,
are
whoa, whoa,
swimming
whoa, whoa,
near Fukushima, and they'll have radiation. So,
But
you'd
even-
rather have the bugs. You'd rather have the bugs with all that protein.
even in normal food, you know,
Squid has a lot of protein too.
even in normal
Guys,
food,
talk one by one, please. Talk one by one, please.
yeah, even in normal foods, they use bugs because coloring stuff is made of bugs. You know, the food coloring is often made of some residue of insects, like lipstick. You know, the coloring stuff in lipstick is made of blood lice.
That's true.
Yeah, so we eat bugs every day, actually.
Do you eat lipstick?
No, you don't eat
Your
it.
favorite food?
But lipstick was just an example because a lot of foods contain coloring substances, and they are made of bugs.
No, I know.
Yellow likes bugs.
But you said that right after.
Well, I think with the food, actually the bugs and stuff are the least of your worries. Just saying.
That's true. That's very true.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much shit in food. I think they like oranges. They color those with wax, like the skin around oranges. Like you have a lot of things they do with food. People don't know. So.
Yeah, and then gas on tomatoes, so they'll ripen. And, okay.
I don't even think that we do want to know what's in our food, because then we don't eat anything anymore. Right?
Well, unless you raise and grow your own, which is kind of really the way everybody should be going to. Because, like, even if we don't see, like, the worst of it in our lifetime, like, our kids or their kids are going to. So, I don't know. We got to teach them because nobody else is going to. Like, I don't. Some of the crap that I see that's, like, going on in the cities and stuff, I just be like, God, thank God I live in, like, a rural place in the country and I don't have to, like, tolerate that insanity.
Oh, the cities are going to be the worst when the economy breaks down.
Yeah,
the thing
exactly.
Is, confirmed to this was it today? I think it was today. The DXY got rejected from going higher, meaning that the dollar is going to go down in value. It's going to start now. This chart takes months, so it's a monthly. So it's not going to be essentially it's or I'm sorry, it's the weekly, not the monthly. The weekly, and it's going to take a while for this to go down, but it is confirmed that it got rejected. So if it's confirmed it got rejected, DXY, which is the dollar value is going to go down over time. And we probably have somewhere between, I want to say that the economy will collapse probably sometime next year, confirming off of this chart. So, I mean, sometime next year, probably more so in the realm of, from now, probably about 8 to 12 months. Maybe less, possibly, but confirmed that the DXY got rejected. And for everyone who knows that what that means, it means that the dollar value is going to go down, and we're going to be heading into a Great Depression soon. So it's not going to be inflation; it's going to be deflation. That's what a lot of people are kind of mixing up. They're mixing up the inflation and deflation, and I was doing it too. Until I kind of started looking into it more, and then I realized it's not inflation that happens when the economy collapses; it's deflation. I thought that some assets would inflate in value because if the price of the dollar is going down, you would think that some assets would go up in value, right? Where that's true in some regard, it's not true to all assets, so stocks and stuff like that would still go down in value. But like metals would probably go up in value. We don't know how crypto would react to it. So the economy collapse is coming.
Yeah, I think the economy already collapsed in 2008.
It did.
These are just the after effects, I guess. Like
No. They never let that play out. They then did a whole bunch of quantitative easing, and what they did was they just kind of kicked the can down the road. And because they kicked the can so far down the road now, the effects that are going to be coming are going to be probably about 10 times worse than 2008.
Yeah, well, because you're talking about the 600 trillion derivatives market that will crash. So yeah.
Yep. Derivatives is one big thing that will crash, and there's other markets that will crash as well. And this is because they've kicked the can down the road for so long, and at the same time that they're kicking the can down the road, they're printing more money. And they're causing deflation in the dollar value. So the dollar itself is dropping in value against other things. And meanwhile, everyone's saying that the price of things are going up. The price of things are going up because the dollar is losing its value and it's deflating.
Well, it's like a current, right? The markets always go up, and suddenly crash.
Well, the DXY too. If you look at it, it's very interesting because we've been in a downtrend with the dollar for a long time, couple decades, And because of that, this could be the death of the dollar, and nobody like kind of wants to say it, but it could happen.
Yeah, but you dealt in the USA. You dealt with a thing that's called Greenspan economics. Actually, at some point, it is beneficial for a dollar to go down in value because the economy grows and you need more dollars, right? Like say, if an economy gets bigger, you need more paper money because it needs to be traded, right? So you increase the money supply. But what Greenspan said, like, you have to borrow as much money as you can right now because 20 years from now, that money you have to repay will be worth a lot less than the money you borrowed now. So it makes sense. You borrow as much money as you can. So that's what people did.
Yeah, it's all about the way the bonds work. It's really kind of messy and crazy the way all that crap works. But yeah, that's
yeah. Well, if you borrow $1,000 and you have to pay like a 10% interest, even this is $100, you have to repay $1,100. But if the inflation, a money drop in value causes that money to be like worth only like $500 in purchasing value, you made a lot of profit on that loan you got. So that's Greenspan economics. But the second the growth, I can hear myself. The second the growth stops is when it collapses, right? Because you no longer need like an increase in money supply, and your economy will collapse. That was you saw in 2008 really bad. Like
yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, it's what's happening again, except it's actually happening. A lot of the same things are happening again. The banks are closing credit accounts. They're rejecting people from getting credit. That's what happened in 2008, right before everything kind of started going downhill. And the same thing is happening again. Just was it last month? There was a whole bunch of banks that started closing people's credit accounts and also rejecting people from applying for credit. And they don't do that in a healthy economy. They do that in an economy that is on the verge of collapse.
Yeah. Well, to create like a super growth in the U.S., you were allowed to borrow everything, and at some point the government needs collateral against it, and then you see the war machine rolling.
That's why they're taking over countries, so they can use it as collateral.
Yeah, real estate value. Yep. So you have to make a difference between the actual country and the bankers, right? The country also borrows from the bankers. Whatever bank or whatever other country wants to invest, by the way.
Basically, that's what China is doing as well, right? With the loans in Africa.
Yeah, anyone can buy actually, like into countries. And if they offer you collateral and say like, we can always repay you because we have the collateral, you're going to fall for it. And you can't go back either, because the second you make the dollar drop in value, like, you will never be repaid what you actually gave to them. So you have to also keep them going. Like, all these countries the US borrowed from, they are forced to keep the US in control financially. It's like, doesn't even matter what the US government does. You have to keep them up because you have borrowed. You give them so much money, and you will never get it back. Because your money drops. So the U.S. Whoever invented that whole system, they are in their own way kind of brilliant economists, but for the normal people, it's devastating, of course.
Of course, the little man always has to suffer for it, right?
Yeah, well, they are kind of brilliant, right? They have this whole blackmail thing against the entire world going on.
Yeah, I mean, it was a brilliant blackmail scheme. You're right about that, lovers. Like,
yeah. Like, is China going to benefit from a dropping dollar? Like, how much did they invest? What is it, like 2,000 billion or something? I think it's a lot more now.
Well, I mean, here's the thing, like whoever has invested and bought up lots of real estates and has the power to do things like manipulate the weather and control the crops and things like that. That's gonna be a good thing for them. So.
Yeah, and imagine all these Arab sheiks. They traded their valuable oil for worthless toilet paper dollars. They don't want it to be worthless. They want it to go up. Like, this is our real resource. These are real resources. And these families became the richest families in the world. Like, some Arab families are like extremely rich. They're much richer than Elon Musk. And
unfortunately, oil is still an important and expensive resource. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Speaking of expensive resources, what's the two places that do manufacture the synthetic connector stuff for computers and stuff there's only two. I just learned that a couple days ago.
Well, there's two primary manufacturers of semiconductors. Crazy. They account for almost 2/3. It's like 65% of all of the semiconductors are out of two companies in Taiwan.
I didn't know that, so I heard that on the show the other day. I was like, oh, I always learn something new here.
Yeah, I can imagine that silicon sand, used for microchips, that's a important resource as well, which is valuable, right? I mean, in the modern times now, where everybody's depending on microchips, yeah, I can imagine that having a silicon dig up. I'm not sure if you dig it up or if you just mine it or something. But yeah, that could be a good money, right?
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right.
Well, I mean, sure, I guess if money is what you're after, but I was thinking more about the poor people who are being extorted and enslaved for their labor and their country's ravished and hey, it's cool. We'll just go mine the ocean too when we run out here. No big deal.
Yeah, which leads only more to disastrous environment because mining the oceans. My God, a lot of pollution.
Yeah.
More than a lot of pollution.
Yeah, that's an understatement. Where was it that they were using the volcanic, the volcanic
the hydrothermal vents?
Yes, to mine their crypto. That's kind of ingenious. That's better than
that's
right?
Ecuador, not Ecuador. Oh my God. Fuck, I can't remember the country now.
Can't neither. It was a month ago.
Well, they haven't actually mined around hydrothermal vents yet. As far as I know, the most trials they're doing in terms of actual deep sea mining for mineral resources is going on in the bottom of the Pacific Ocean. That's where actual test runs for that shit are taking place. A mining code hasn't been established for commercial deep sea mining yet, but it's probably going to come out within the next 2 years now.
She's talking about mining El Salvador. Mining volcanoes.
I mean, there is a lot of sulfur and a lot of nickel, I think, in volcanic magma, right?
It's very interesting. What El Salvador wants to do, they want to mine crypto using the volcanic energy.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you mean
because what Ted was talking about was literal sea mining.
The mineral.
Yeah.
You guys went different directions. Yeah, I know. Like I said, you went 10 different directions. So yeah.
But yeah, thermal energy. That's also something that's probably will be the future, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like I said earlier, a mining code for commercial deep sea mining is going to be established within the next 2 years now, probably. So it's going to become a reality to mine the bottom of the ocean for these resources, which take millions of years to accumulate, by the way. So you're essentially going to be permanently damaging the ocean floor.
We need to figure out how to use like funding behind that so we can figure out how to stop that whenever they're trying to write it into this uniform commercial code crap, because that's insane that is like real life in cartoon, like that is about to be a thing, like a mining code written for mining the ocean floor. Like,
Yeah. Well, the body in charge of the mining code is the International Seabed Authority, which is recognized by several governments. And then also the company that was holding trials with the Pitania 2 robot, which was specifically designed for polymetallic nodule mining, was GSR Global Sea Mineral Resources, which is a subsidiary of, I think, a Belgian energy company called DEME or DEME, and that's a part of the World Economic Forum's Battery Alliance.
imagine that. Okay, well those things are on the notes there, and go figure, the World Economic Forum.
We know
and deep sea mining. Deep sea mining is also a part of the World Economic Forum's Strategic Intelligence series, where they say that not only will they be mining in Africa, they'll also look for resources and other rare earth minerals in and around hydrothermal vents. That's from the World Economic Forum's own site. So yeah, and they're pushing a quote-unquote dialogue on it too. So that's lovely.
The thing is, we know so little about the oceans, So
yeah.
What they don't keep an eye on is what effects that deep sea mining can have, on the environment.
Yeah.
It would be disastrous.
Yeah, I mean, just look at like what fracking does. So, can you imagine like what this is gonna do? Like,
it would be like the effects of bottom trawl nets, but on steroids.
Yeah, I mean,
really bad steroids.
It all is connected, right? I mean, the ocean's currents is connected to our weather. So if you disturb that, it will fuck up the weather, big, majorly, right?
Yeah. And the sediment plumes that can be stirred up by the machinery, that sediment can rise up to the top of the water column and choke out the other filter feeders that stay towards the surface level of the ocean. On top of the fact that the noise and light pollution from the machinery would permanently impair some of the marine life that lives at the bottom, because they're used to living in complete, peaceful darkness.
Exactly, and like you said, it will disturb a certain kind of animal, which other animals feed on again. So it's a chain, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a chain, and if you damage one of the links, it damages it all, which basically at the end comes down to us again.
Yep.
I mean, they always say we are on the top of the food chain, but that also makes us the most vulnerable.
Well, we're on top of the food chain for the elites that send us to war, military-industrial complex.
Yep.
So, yeah, we're not at the top of the food chain. We're at the top where they use us.
But you know what I mean, right? So
you're saying humans are at the top of the. You're saying humans in general are the top of the food chain and eat everything under them. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, and so that makes us the most vulnerable if the whole food chain gets fucked up.
Well, yeah. I mean, if the food chain gets fucked up, I mean, and you're pretty much on your deathbed.
Yep.
Or not deathbed, but what's the word I'm looking for? Not deathbed, but your final days.
Fuck, do you mean?
Well, yeah, that's the other way of putting it. But I was trying to be nice. I wasn't trying to curse for once. We're already fucked. I mean, you take your pick. You take your pick of what ways we're fucked, and I'm sure you can figure it out. And there's many ways that we're fucked.
Yeah, for example, what currently is going on here as well, the extreme weathers, right?
Well, yeah, that would be a combination, in my opinion, of actual climate change and, in my opinion, at least, I think there's somebody's amplifying the weather. I'm not saying that climate change doesn't exist, but there's been some real extreme weather recently, and a lot of tensions between nations at the same time. So, and they all have the capability to manipulate the weather, whether it's Russia, China, the U.S., Saudi Arabia, the UAE. They all have the fucking capability to do it.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing, like, about the weather manipulation part, like, crap, sorry, I dropped my mouse there, is, like, even though they can go through the clouds and turn up the HARP towers, like, we weren't being sarcastic, that was serious, like, real news there, but, like, what we don't know also plays into those things. So, like, for example, like, there's been a lot of sunspots and stuff lately, so, you know what I mean? Like, they can manipulate the weather, but they can't completely control, like, the outcomes of their weather manipulation.
Exactly, and that's when that's one of the main things, Project Cirrus, where they tried to steer a hurricane away from a town, and they ended up it was supposed to go into the ocean, and instead of going into the ocean, it went into a town. Oops.
Yeah, well, you can't try and steer hurricanes.
You tell that to the fucking Air Force, not me.
They always try to weaponize anything, you know. If they can weaponize the weather.
Yeah, well, I mean, you be safe, because they might try to weaponize your chocolate milk.
How it could be weaponized.
You'd never think to work with chocolate milk either, Ted.
They might have already done it, for all we know.
They may have.
When's
the last time you tested your chocolate milk, buddy?
Yeah, you better.
It could be like the same.
Every day I'm putting it to the taste test. Yep.
What if they've slowly been putting poison in your chocolate milk over the years? And now, instead of an immunity, you're like they've turned you into a receiver.
Actually, they are, and not just milk.
Yeah.
They are putting so much hormones in all our foods.
Good point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's.
See, they even weaponized your fucking chocolate milk. See, I was right.
Yeah, definitely. Milk was like one of the first, you know, like big, huge, like food scam things by the hormones and stuff. But kind of, sort of on this subject, like the effect, like, of the bioweapon on nature overall and its reactions, like. I don't know. I'm not supposed to speak about these stuff because it's confidential, but we'll just say that, like, heads up, there's been a lot of issues with, like, you know, companies that mass manufacture food, like chicken, like Tyson's.
Yeah.
Like, kill a lot of them, bring, like, special scientists in, like, the drivers can't even, like, out their trailers, so.
They're putting so much
antibiotics.
They're putting so much antibiotics in. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you were speaking when I was. Well, anyway, they put antibiotics directly into a lot of the chicken. They inject it in. Um, and there's other things that they do.
In the water
It's,
system.
Yeah,
yeah,
and
a
they're
lot of
doing it too
drugs.
much. They're doing it so much that when we get diseases and they use antibiotics, they don't work anymore.
Correct.
And yep, there was the resistance to it. So, and then like you have like natural, obviously like occurring viruses, in the environment, like and birds are something that have been known in history for those things to species hop. So, like
Birds aren't real.
bioweapons are those keys.
True.
Just saying.
True.
Take it how you want. We're in any situation we're fucked.
We are. Definitely are. Like some of us are more fucked than others. If you want to say that we're fucked on social media, though, you should probably spell it with PH, because if you spell it regularly, they'll just ban your post, shadow ban it for curse words and stuff.
Oh,
It's
we're
not
all
proper
shadow
speech.
banned already.
We're all. Well, like everybody, probably but me, because my account's pretty tiny still, but yeah, that tool is kind of disgusting and interesting all at the same time,
Oh,
I
by
don't
the
like
way,
being censored.
talking about
I was just gonna say, I just like being censored for talking about actual real fucking things happening, like actual news articles. Posting a news article about the coronavirus gets you banned on social media.
yeah, I wanted to ask you about that. I saw the tweet about so Newsday being banned from I think YouTube it was.
Not banned, but there's a strike on the
Not
channel for medical misinformation.
Oh my
Let
god,
me scroll
epic.
it.
You've
You guys
been a
remember
bad.
when we didn't say vitamin C? Like, remember that episode got taken down for literally saying vitamin C?
Yeah.
Like, we didn't even say this.
Yep. Can't talk about.
We rolled a clip of the UK's minister for vaccines. It was a position that exists. It's a real thing. UK vaccines minister.
It
His
said the
name
V
is-
word. That's the bad word that gets everybody.
Well, just a video of a government official speaking in Parliament, and that's what we got the strike for.
They immediately, like, I was actually present for that live stream, and then, like, a little while later, when I went back to YouTube or whatever, I think I was closing Windows on my phone, and I was like, damn, that episode's gone already off YouTube. Like, haters.
Yeah,
I woke up.
Really
I
bad.
woke up to the suspension and the strike. But I mean, this is common now, to where if you roll a clip of a government official speaking on the record about a part of the narrative that they don't want people to remember, shoo, gone, yanked, video removed, you're suspended for a week.
Yep, telling the truth, it's not very popular with social media and the governments, right?
If you say the V word again,
What?
no V word.
I didn't
The
say.
Michelle Pfeiffer, Ted.
I didn't say anything.
PC.
I said the truth.
The jab.
The boop boop.
It's hate and lies. It's filled with hate and lies. I think we can say that still. Maybe. Is that microphone better?
Drugs. I really did. I thought that at 43 I would not have to have the conversation with my adult friends. Hey, look, this is a dangerous drug. You don't know anything about it. Are you sure you want to shoot it into your body? Like, aren't we past that?
Right, exactly. Like the FDA.
You know who made this. You
You
don't
guys
trust
are
this
dropping.
person.
You guys are dropping words that you shouldn't be saying because now we're gonna get banned for this. You gotta remember it's an AI that listens to the audio. That's it.
So now I can
Yeah,
say.
go fuck yourself.
So now I can say truth anymore.
We're just having a conversation about drugs, man.
But then you
How to make a bomb.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
That's real helpful, Libby.
Now, Mr. Lovers wants to get banned because he said that.
Right. Like,
If you want that advice, we can get Tyler in here, Mark. I mean,
Right.
I'm sure he'll give a fucking detailed lesson on how to do that.
To put a cherry on top, is there anything we can blame the Jews for while we're at it?
Here we go. Now we have to be there.
Definitely going down as soon as the live streams.
This is getting banned.
For sure.
We should.
He literally just trolled the AI in multiple fucking ways.
We should bring in the.
He's getting like 5 strikes.
Hey, I heard global warming is a hoax too.
Blue Chew.
I heard global warming is a hoax too.
They have Julian Assange in the title too. That's already
We should
welcoming.
bring in the voice actor that does the voice for Cartman.
Epstein did not kill himself. Epstein did not kill himself.
John McAfee is alive and well on a pirate yacht with a brand new face, drinking freaking margaritas out of virgins.
And that's Steve selling himself a fucking dream because the cartoon is a nightmare.
Syria, Venezuela,
QAnon, the Lord and Savior.
Palestine, free Palestine, fuck Israel, fuck Zionism.
Are we leaving out?
I think we're gonna confuse the algorithm, AK. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna overload it to the point to where it's inoperable.
Yeah, Antarctica, flat Earth, and
Hollow Earth.
The
AK
moon landing
really
didn't
gets
happen.
Hollow Earth gets
Trails and let me see. What more do we have?
QAnon.
Emergency.
Hey, when's the last time we brought up the protocols of the Elders of Zion?
Oh my God! Did anyone even deny the Holocaust yet?
When was the last
Listen,
time
some of those numbers.
the
Oh my God.
NSA's, wait. When was the last time we read all the NSA's keywords?
Let's do it live. We need a refresher course.
I'm about to. I'm just searching them up right now.
I know. I'm just filling the error in the meantime while we're waiting for you to load those.
Like NSA keywords, ASMR.
Well, you just need to mention an explosive device and a certain high official in the government, and yeah, you will get triggered.
Oh, here is the full list, okay? Why Hotline, InfoSec, Information Security, Information Warfare, IS, Privacy, Information Terrorism, Terrorism Defense, Defense Information, Warfare, Offensive Information Warfare, National Information Infrastructure, InfoSec Reno, CompSec, Computer Terrorism, Firewalls, Secure Information, Secure Internet Connections, ISS, Passwords, DEFCON 5, Hackers, Encryption, Espionage, US DOJ, NSA, CIA. Why do they have the agencies on there? Every single time that you say a fucking agency, it taps the fucking NSA.
Military intelligence.
FBI, Secret Service, USSSSS, DEFCON, Military, White House, Undercover, NSSSS, Mayflower,
No, stop.
CP, PEM,
Hey,
RSA, Pearl,
Exxon
RSA,
Shell.
MSNBC. MSNBC?
You know who had the right idea?
Cypherpunks.
Muammar
these are real
Gaddafi.
fucking words. Bet.
Did you know there was a guy who was arrested in the USA for collecting smoke detectors and building a nuclear reactor?
Remember that we did that and we trolled the NSA one year, and we just all like thought up sentences with like 10 different words that are all in the NSA keywords.
Yeah.
My cousin Muhammad.
I'm gonna die.
Al Qaeda.
Jihad.
No, don't bring in those ones. Those are bad ones.
Allah Akbar.
When you say it with that accent, they know you don't mean it.
Okay, alright,
It's a
NSA.
beautiful phrase, though, to be fair. It really
PSYOPs,
is.
PSYOPs is a fucking word that you guys use to tap into anything that says PSYOPs. You tap into the conversation. PSYOPs. Like what? Why? PSYOPs. What the fuck?
Hey, now that we have your attention, have you ever thought about becoming a whistleblower?
WikiLeaks and local leaks have a secure drop that you can use. Don't link to the intercept.
Arguably, you are in one of the best possible positions on the entire planet right now. With the information available to you, you could help liberate millions and millions and millions of people. I would consider this. I would definitely lawyer up. I would. And for lack of knowing who this is, I'm gonna go with Kevin. So Kevin, I need you to think long and hard about becoming a hero today. I believe in you, Kevin. I do.
And now back to reading NSA keywords. Cypherpunks, coderpunks, TRW, remailers, replay, redheads.
Typical conversations on our show.
Redheads? Really, NSA?
Redheads? 100 words on here.
Why is redheads a fucking keyword that you tap into shit with?
Ninja is on here.
That means something other than redheads.
Oh, alright, so, okay. Porn stars, RX7, explicit, flame, AVN, Playboy, anonymous.
AVN?
Yes, AVN.
How are the adult or the? Oh no. Okay, I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm still going here, Steve. I got a long time.
So many words here.
Nuclear.
Gorillas on
Put
here.
the fucking list in the general chat so we can all have a turn. Jesus, AK, why you gotta hog it?
It's so many words.
Yeah, it's about
militia.
How to start your own militia.
Oh, we forgot one. Cuba.
Silencer.
Machine gun.
Bump stock.
Codes is on here.
Yeah, it's a long.
Oh yeah, no, I'm looking at the basement. Basement is on here.
Can I just say how to find a replacement for Silk Road on the dark web?
What? How to find what?
On the Silk Road on the dark web, is that what you just said there, Lubby?
That's what I said.
LexisNexis. Package.
Mad Mom wrote in the chat. Note, don't hashtag these words. Yeah.
Retinal fetish. Yobi.
Yeah,
Clue.
yeah. This isn't the full list. It's partial list, but there's
Pine Gap. Ooh, nice. Pine Gap. Good. Good men with Mantis. Okay.
Wait, I want Chinese intelligence too. Chinese intelligence too.
Bletchley Park.
I want to say one thing for the Chinese intelligence, and that is that Xi Jinping looks like Winnie the Pooh.
Oh, hate crime.
Yeah,
Hate
you
crime.
you called them out, and I mean they're gonna come after your ass now.
Soros.
You're gonna have
power.
You're gonna have fucking Chinese malware on your phone like we did years ago with Occupy.
Ooh, damn.
Free Hong Kong. Free Hong Kong.
Damn.
Now you're really
Crypto anarchy.
They will come to you, Mark. They will come to you, and then they will start like everybody was kung fu fighting.
Yo,
Oh yeah.
Pause. Pause. Bubba the Love Sponge.
It's
It's an NSA
not
trigger
what you
word.
think. It's not what you think, Steve.
What is that, and why is that on the fucking list, though?
There's fucking tons of words on here that shouldn't be.
Gorilla is on this list.
Just mention China.
I would love to know why they have artichoke. Is that because of Project Artichoke and the whole?
Probably.
Isn't China on
would
there?
think.
So,
Fraud and credit card are on there. Okay.
Mail bomb is
What the
on
fuck?
there.
We're even still live.
Food.
We're still live,
Yeah,
people.
we're still live. Yeah.
Indigo. Interesting.
Why is Bill Gates on here?
Why wouldn't Bill Gates be on?
Why not? Oh,
Why not?
sneakers?
Is that
The
it?
word dead is on here. How fucked up is that?
Oh, what the hell? They
Okay.
put nerd on here? Come
yeah.
on.
Every episode of Slow News Day has triggered the NSA. If cocaine is a trigger word, that has happened.
They put nerd on here. What the hell?
They
Why would
put
it do that?
Emma as well, and oh wow, look at that! They have BlackNet on here, which was Tim May's project before him and Al Finney created Bitcoin.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. Crypto Anarchy. That's a nice one too.
Yeah.
Texas is on there.
Yeah, does anybody have a show that isn't titled after like specific NSA trigger phrases?
Wait. I think I just found something that I'm gonna search up. It's called Internet Underground. What is that?
What?
Ooh.
Why is Wackenhut Corporation and Rand Corporation on here? I mean, that's just
You
fucking
know why? Because anybody looking into either of those people is immediately going to be flagged as like potential dissident.
Well, no. Anybody looking into Wackenhut is exposing the corruption of Wackenhut, and Wackenhut is the former company before G4SS.
That's what I'm saying. If you're looking into them, you're a dissident. If you're looking into the Rand Corporation, you're going to be viewed as a dissident.
If you're looking into Wackenhut, you're looking into Promise stuff, so I want to know why the NSA has Promise-related words on here if Promise software was not involved with the NSA, as they should say.
Because
Pegasus on the list.
Pick me, like I know the answer.
Wait. Grab 'em.
Okay.
Pegasus, is that one on the list?
Ready?
No.
The floor's yours. Just go ahead. Whenever you're ready. Just jump right in. Get right at it. Don't.
Okay for the NSA to say those things and for them to run those malware and software programs. And if we talk about, any of that stuff, even though it's factual information that's available to the public on, at least WikiLeaks, then they're probably going to come after you and kidnap you too and, torture you if they can. If you make too much noise, just like they are to Julian.
Oh, wait. Okay?
I pause.
Wait. So, I figured out the problem here, NSA, and why you can't catch any of the actual real terrorists. Okay, here's the problem, okay? You have the word porno as one of your words, okay? So anytime anybody on the fucking internet searches up porn, you are literally tracking them? If you're tracking every single person who types in the word porn, you have a problem.
Yeah, that will be like tracking a few billion people, right?
Yeah, that's a major problem.
I just had a huge flashback to this really stupid thing that I did with Wait a Sec, before I left Facebook, and we kind of did a thing to the AI with the whole Pornhub thing in Microsoft a couple years ago. That's probably not so smart, but I don't care. They're gonna have to kill me to shut me up, so I did it anyways.
But probably WikiLeaks must be on the list.
Specifically, a Glock 26. Specifically an Ingram Mac 10. Semtex.
Well, I mean, if you want to learn how to kill somebody, you can just read the NSA's words, because it's got a lot of stuff on here, such as blowfish, blowfish poison, that's not...
Yeah.
Yeah, plutonium. I mean, you can use plutonium to kill somebody.
Novichok.
Squib.
Specifically, Uzi. Yeah, you can use an Uzi to kill somebody.
Polonium.
I don't see that one.
He said polonium.
Why lacrosse is on here?
Lacrosse?
Aluminum, not polonium.
Steve Case. That was my
Lacrosse is on here.
dad's best friend.
Who is Steve Case? Because why is his name specifically on here?
I know that. That was the name of my dad's best friend. That's one of the
Okay,
reasons why I'm a
some of
Steve.
these. I'm about to look up some of these words. I mean, like Steve Case. I mean,
Maybe that's why people are saying you're a cop or whatever, Steve, because your dad's
Right?
friend's name's on the NSA trigger word list. Like everything literally is not on there. I mean,
Infowar.
Hey, Steve,
we're all
Steve,
government
Steve.
hate is
Jones,
Laden,
Jones.
okay?
Capricorn is on here.
Hey, Osama bin Laden.
Whitewater is on here. Is that the
course
NSA
Whitewater's on
admitting? Is that the NSA admitting that the Clintons are guilty? I think it is.
I think so too.
That's hilarious.
Like this is fucking insane. Ho ho con. What the fuck is
15
ho-ho-con?
kilograms. 15 kilograms specifically. Osberg, I mean,
That's why.
fantastic weapon maker. Fantastic.
I just want to know. I just want to know who's the fucking idiot who thought up all these words and why they put on like most of the most common words on here, including investigations into various different things that have happened over the years.
The word propaganda is on here. The word government is on here. The word hate is on here.
Yes.
Spook keywords is
Well, it's just
keyword.
Big Bubba is on here.
makes it handy for their AI to be able to itemize how they track, monitor, and listen to everything we do everywhere at all times, quite literally.
Freedom is on there.
Beyond
Freedom is on here.
Everybody's guilty.
Middleman is on here.
Middleman.
Well, there's anonymous.
Yes. I saw that one. It stood out like pretty much. Why is
Anonymous.
1996 on here and no other year? what is
Oh,
this?
I saw 1911 too.
Well, that's also a model of Colt sidearm. 1911A is one of the.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right.
That's how the West was won, buddy.
You're right. You're right.
They have rubber bands on there and bump stocks, or
They've got a whole
No.
lot of words on. What is 3848? Anybody?
3848.
CHDH.
Any?
Yeah, that's exactly what I just did.
I know what.
Well, I'm thinking like along the lines of
right,
like
yeah.
1488 or something like that, which I'm surprised that's not on here.
I wonder, is 9/11 on the list?
Haven't seen
Not.
it. Illuminati is. That's
Wonder if 1312 is on there.
Yeah, Illuminati's on there. Skull and Bones is on there too.
Eternity
Well.
server. Pixar triggers.
Wait a second. Good news, gentlemen. I don't think 1312 is on this list.
Okay.
Till later when they update it, because
Right.
have their AI.
Oh yeah, because we were just saying.
What about over 9,000?
It's over 9,000.
1071.
What if suddenly ABB is on the list?
Right.
That's not funny, Mark. Like, I mean, you know that we're on there anyways, like individually, but we don't need like the show.
Watch
name.
Marmot
Like,
pop up as a keyword
wait,
from now on.
Alright, AK is on the list.
Trump is on here, and that list
I knew
came
that
out.
was gonna happen.
That list, but the list came out before Trump was president.
Well, so Russia.
So Trump being a total deep state puppet was just confirmed.
Is Biden on there?
Again.
For all you deniers.
It's great.
No, Biden.
Neither is
Evergreen?
Obama.
Is Evergreen still on there?
No, but lacrosse is. Apparently, you can't like lacrosse, or you're a terrorist.
Guys, is Million Mass March on the list? Someone asks.
No, not that I've.
I haven't seen it.
ABB's probably okay because that's a big Swedish company here.
When was the last time that the CIA cared about any company?
Well, they love Facebook and Twitter. I mean, if you're part of the club of the certain tribe,
why did a big Swedish company steal our name?
Hey man, I like those guys. I've worked with them before when I was a corporate slug 20 years ago.
The dollar sign is on here.
Can't have people using the dollar sign. Like I said, these words. I mean, you guys are literally tapping everybody like that says something fucking stupid. Like
that's the idea.
There's a seal in my basement, and he's buried without a press release. He has to do a wire transfer. Yeah, I gave up. I was trying to do it, but I was trying to do it while scanning through the words real quick.
Is Bitcoin on
there's a seal in my basement that's going to reveal spook keywords about world domination and the formation of a virus using blowfish venom developed in Fort Meade. We're working on a press release. He's a nerd, so he's good at it.
Who wants to have sex with redheads?
We saw this in a porno.
That's how you do it.
We saw this in a porno. We also looked up stuff about crypto anarchy, and this whole thing took place in Texas.
And then we
hold up. Why is Texas on there but not Florida? I'm offended.
You got a bunch of whites down there.
Macintosh firewalls that had encryption, and we heard a white noise, and then we heard a pink noise. It was a top secret mission.
It was a trip from the cocaine that we were doing.
We
sat up all night talking about Roswell. I'd just seen an article in the Weekly World News, right? And it was about how the Illuminati and the people that they know, places of high security in places like Harvard and Fort Meade and Chelsea, people with involved in information terrorism and money laundering, corporate security, all that kind of thing. We're having this conversation, and all of a sudden, some flashbangs go off.
And then Stephanie spoke to Trump about a covert video.
And he blames everything on Iran.
While lockpicking.
Like Aladdin. Thanks for indulging us here on Anonymous.
Oh, while lockpicking a keyhole. Okay, alright, we're good.
Always appreciated.
Oh my god, bro, that's gonna be the next keyword. That's gonna be the next keyword. It's gonna be like always appreciated with 5 A's, and I'm gonna be like, yes.
We did.
We just wrote like a whole skit, like
Holy
satire. Keywords.
Hey, I'm telling you though, Jones, if you can get the NSA to add keywords based on what you're saying, that is impacting culture. That is creating culture. This is defining. Some legendary shit.
You're gonna create your own prison culture.
I hope all of you guys are using VPNs when reading these words, because we're just
waiting for that.
We're just setting off this fucking thing left and right, and somebody's probably gonna get a knock on the door. Not kidding.
He's gonna knock on my fucking door, right?
I think that the NSA now, there's going like an alarm.
It ain't Cookie.
There's an alarm going off there, like.
Or
I don't know
or
about
they're
you
just,
guys, but I tell jokes.
or they're just sitting
Yeah.
there like,
Oh,
man,
my.
these fools back at it again. God damn, bro, I'm tired of
Mad
dealing
Mom
with the
brings
show.
all the agencies to the yard or whatever. Oh,
Really, there is a major alarm going off there now at the agencies because we are saying all the keywords, you know.
I feel like they know at this point though. They're just like, God damn it, bro, these fools fucking with us again. Shit.
fucking Thursday night. God damn it.
Except that's not the response they would have. They would literally come at your door.
Don't forget your VPN.
I never do. I don't know about you guys, but mine's connected constantly to the computer.
But we forgot to bomb president.
Oh my god, Ted.
Alright, now we know who's getting a visit. It's you. Because you hear me, NSA. Ted is in Dutchland.
I would like to state for the record that person's name was Thor.
AKA Thunder God.
Oh man.
Let me finish. Let me finish.
Can't you tell?
Did you finish?
By the
So she
way,
said-
I hope you all enjoyed it because she was in the shower with me again.
Now we can hear that. There's nothing new. We're not even surprised anymore.
You didn't mute while in the shower? I can only tell from the echo.
Can you please, for the love of fucking God, mute us in the shower?
Don't forget to color out your camera if you have to.
I mean, I'm a little. I feel a little weirded out there, Ted, that you want to hear our voices while you're in the shower.
No, it's not like you're just in the audio response channel or anything. That's
Yeah, but it's not like he's going, okay, but say that again, but slower.
How do you know?
Whoa, wait, what?
Well, you know, he could be. He could be. You're right.
How do you know he's not doing that? I mean, like, he's in the shower and like he's not going to speak when
Because we
you
can
know, and he
see
doesn't
him
press the
too.
button.
We're gonna make this motherfucker drown. He's gonna like be throwing his head back, laughing. Water's just gonna go pouring right down his throat. Gonna be all up his nose and shit.
Waterboarding.
Mark, you're awful quiet back there, my friend.
Be like Ted's shower hype, man. That's right, Ted. You do that. You grab that soap, motherfucker.
No.
Wash them elbows.
That's
And
too
who
much.
Who said that? If we could just see him.
Something else. Oh shit!
No,
You
Mad
missed the
Mom.
spot, you dumbass.
Mad Mom, I'm just quiet. I'm just considering my options right now because I'm streaming this. So
Don't drop the soap, Teddy.
Stop saying my insert not real name on the air, anyways. But no, seriously, like I don't want to like disclose too much because I'm not just like in the bathtub with wet hands or anything tonight. But definitely you should.
okay, it's not Mad Mom. It's okay.
Holy lag of
Your audio just took a total shit right there.
I think we made Ted leave.
You gotta change your name to Happy Mom. Happy Mom.
But like,
Oh,
I don't have enough weed to be a happy mom.
What the fuck?
Audio better.
I'm not sure what happened.
A little bit. Oh, we disconnected you because you were listening to us in the shower.
Yeah.
We don't do
So, I
that.
mean, like, it's all fun fucking around, but there is actual real news to get to.
That's against
Yeah.
Creed.
We bring up the updates in the Julian Assange case yet?
Okay, yeah, okay. So our break for, making us feel better about the evil is over, and now back to the news.
It's like,
We get to the update
guys, you know
about-
that super long list that I pulled up and started reading off? Okay, it's time for you guys to knock it off, because this is fucking
We get to
funny.
the updates about the appeal in the Assange case yet?
We did a bit about that. This is the 11th, right?
Yeah, well, because I don't know, because I remember we were talking about it before the show, but I don't know. Yeah, basically, just the latest update in the Julian Assange case. A preliminary high court hearing has been scheduled for August 11th, in which prosecutors on behalf of the U.S. government will challenge the legal grounds. They can appeal January's ruling refusing extradition to the U.S. They're allowed to appeal. It's a limited appeal, so they're allowed to appeal on 3/5 of the decision. Obviously, they're going to try to appeal the other 2 parts of it too. But yeah, August 11th is the date for that.
So before they can go forward with the appeal, they're appealing limited appeal because it's limited and they want to be able to appeal everything, even though everything they're trying to appeal has been totally fucking like their grounds for appeal are meritless.
Yeah, but will Julian still be involved in these court sessions, do you think? Because this is all about technical things, right?
I don't know if he will be in August.
No, I don't think so.
I wonder.
But when it comes time for the actual appeal, likely yes.
Oh, so this is not the actual appeal yet.
Be present for that. I know you are over here.
You said like limited appeal, but limited to what? You know.
So there were.
Yeah, I was just gonna say they can't appeal the part of the decision that basically listed him as a big suicide risk should he be extradited to the United States. And then I think the second part of the decision that they can't appeal is one related to where he would be detained specifically, and it's whether he would be subjected to special administrative measures and imprisoned at Alexandria Detention Center. So those are the parts of the decision that the U.S. can't appeal, even though they want to. Everything else, they can.
Okay, that's clear.
Okay, so these are hearings now first, and then later on there is like a full appeal court case.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So this is more procedural shit to drag it out. Because we're now, that'll be 8 months into the year since the extradition was denied. So we'll be 3/4 of the way through the year, but at the point to where maybe we'll find out when the first appeal hearing is, which could be another 5, 6, 8 months out after August.
Oh my God, that long.
It could be 2 weeks. I don't know. I don't. But I know how slowly this shit normally moves. And we know that the punishment is the process.
Yeah, you're right.
And sometimes I have the feeling that they deliberately doing it slowly to keep him in prison.
Yeah, for sure.
I just need to know if I have to go there and together with that and cover it.
Yep.
Like we have to cover it, right? Because we cover a completely different thing than other people cover. We cover the activists. And we cover the uncensored opinions.
Yep.
And we can give live updates to you guys, right?
Just keep me updated. What you're planning, Mark.
Yeah, I can't do anything. Like I don't know. Like I want to know a little bit more about the 11th. But like, it would be smart if they did a little bit more on the 11th, because they, like, technically we're like forced to do like 14 days of quarantine getting there, and they announce it like literally on the 13 days before it is. Literally.
Oh well, yeah. Technically, when you travel out of state in the U.S., like once you Like, if you travel from, say, California to DC, you're supposed to do, like, a 10-day quarantine. Yeah, no. We're only there for 5 days, and we have actions in front of the DOJ to do.
Yeah, I know last time I didn't go into quarantine either, but I know it's like technically it's forced to do quarantine.
Oh, now you're fucked. Now you're definitely doing quarantine.
Oh, back then, yeah, it was also, forced.
Yeah,
but no one showing up.
Yeah, but now it's more severe because it's another strain. You know, they're gonna make sure that you quarantine. Trust me. But I mean, you're gonna spend 14 days. I mean, fuck, man, that's gonna be a lot of fucking money to pay for.
Oh yeah.
But seriously, Mark, try to keep me in quarantine. I mean, they have to put armed guards in front of the door because I will walk out.
Yeah, I did that too, and there was no one really checking up on it because London is just a really big city. So, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I will walk out. You know, I don't give a shit about that quarantine shit.
And the thing is, they don't see that you're not an English person when you're walking there. They're not going to like stop every, there's 5 million people there. They're not going to stop every person there in the city. But yeah,
exactly.
No, just the guys that are covering Julian Assange. That's all.
Yeah.
Your phones are gonna be tapped by the moment that you leave to the moment that you're back.
Oh yeah, I know that. Don't worry about it.
I have.
I recommend finding shock videos and opening your browser and having it open to the shock videos, so that way the NSA has something to watch.
Actually, I also do that when I go to the Many Mask March. I have like a Faraday bag, and I put my phone in there. You know.
I thought you were gonna say something else.
Okay, last time I was there, I was doing pen testing on the NHS website. Just saying.
What?
I'm not even going to repeat that.
I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, no, it is true.
Well, that's must have been bored. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, it was daytime. It was kind of boring.
But anyhow, like I said, I have like this Faraday bag. I can put my phone in it, and it really blocks the signal, you know, from my phone, so they can trace it.
That's what you think. See?
I tested it.
No, you didn't.
The phone signal really goes gone.
Maybe for you, but not for the NSA. They can use satellites.
Really, as they can find you like in every corner of the earth.
Yeah, they can find you, Ted. I'm sorry.
Okay.
They actually have a satellite where they can zoom in from space and look at you in your window there, drinking your chocolate milk and eating your Doritos.
Yeah.
Why do you always have to mention that?
You have to go to the unexplored parts of the bottom of the oceans.
It's my way of trolling you.
By the way, we can't say that too much because then it will be on the NSA list. Doritos and chocolate drink.
Oh no. The horror.
Will be added to the list.
Oh no, another list.
They'll add it to the list, because anyone.
Aren't these lists supposed to be like Pokemon? You're supposed to catch them all. Or I got this
catch 'em all. Not gonna get copyrighted.
They can just chop up the transcript.
I think you have 30 seconds.
No.
Agency list.
If I go for more than 2 words, I'll start singing the whole opening.
Yeah, I can't stop you.
And now it's my destiny. Sorry.
Oh shit! Oh wow.
The NSA is your best friend. No bro, we must defend.
Well, that would really piss off Fed too. If we just start singing copyrighted tunes, but fill in the NSA keywords.
No, I mean it's true about the NSA because they're the only agency that listens to you. They're the only ones that care.
That's not true, Alamo. The GCHQ cares just as much, and so does the Australian Intelligence Agency.
Oh, I have to give an Orwellian update, by the way, because the copyright directive starts August 1 in Germany. So that is tomorrow, Saturday, right? Or Sunday.
What did you notice? What did you notice that happened this week, Mr. Lubbers?
There is someone doing weird stuff.
No, that's Ted. He's getting out of the shower right now.
He's pulling a J. Not the ones you smoke.
Hey, so the copyright directive starts 2 days from now, officially. That is ACTA too, right?
Yeah, and what did they do? What did a whole bunch of companies do this week, Mr. Lubbers?
I don't know, tell me. Tell the audience.
They limited their video upload to 60 seconds.
Yeah.
A lot of companies, including Snapchat, limited their upload their video upload to 60 seconds. So people can't upload copyrighted content or copyrighted music or copyrighted anything because it's only 60 seconds. It doesn't break the rule.
Yeah, DMCA, right?
No, but this is the new ACTA 2 law.
ACTA. It's ACTA 2 in Europe.
Yeah. And
DMCA, da 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 da, DMCA.
and second, this is way worse than the MCA. The MCA is a child's play compared to that. But this,
I like the futuristic sex robot song of fuck the MPAA, fuck the IRAA, and fuck them all for the DMCA.
Yeah. Also, all ID cards will have forced fingerprints on it. In the EU, also starting the same day, that's in 2 days. Just saying. So, copyright directive and forced fingerprints.
Yeah.
They love you.
Yeah.
Really.
Let me see.
Bob loves you. The
Do I have my keys? Yeah, I got my keys. Going to work. Yeah. Have to be a slave of society again. Right?
Don't do it, Ted.
in enough people's faces, and the Recording Industry Association of America, who sues children. These are their stories. Fuck the MPAA, coming straight out the underground. A young pirate got a bag cause I'm down. Loading DVDs like a motherfucking bean. Bring my camera through the waves and I put them on BD. Back on my soul and conning up my DVD ROMs. Cause my team's from piracy since I dropped out my mom's. And just because I share my MP3s, they got the government coming after me. Instead of suing kids, why don't you step on up and release a couple albums that don't completely suck. Stop putting DRM on the audio CDs. That don't make it any harder. Steal your MP3s if I want your shit for free. I ain't gonna have to pay. And make your bullshit is what the fuck I say. Actor Gibson. I'm seeing BitTorrents like a digital pimp, son. Fuck the MPAA. Fuck the RIAA. Fuck the C, fuck the BSA. And fuck them all for the DMCA.
Alright, I just had to do that.
Right on.
It called for it. It called for it, Mark.
Yeah, I don't hear that often anymore, Hector Gibson. It's always nice. Yeah.
DMCA. DMCA.
Your mic sucks.
Okay, I know. Wait.
You know you're working, right? You should buy a new mic.
Yep, I'm a slave of society.
Great. So take some of those slave bucks and go buy yourself a new mic.
I guess someone gave like the FreeCommanderX updates. We missed that part. We need to do that too.
Oh yeah, we
have it in the title.
Yeah, well, that should have been at the start of the show with the Daniel Hale stuff, but yeah. So, what's going on with X, Mr. Lubbers?
No, apparently he has been moved to like protective custody.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was in solitary confinement and then agreed through some sort of negotiation to be moved to protective custody. And yeah, because of the move, we haven't been able to do visits with him. And I needed some money because prison food is shite.
Yeah, we loaded his books not too long ago. Yeah, that's all I got to say about that. Ooh, click click boom. That's an old one. No, that's not YT Cracker. It's futuristic sex robots.
No, the one you had. Who was singing that?
Futuristic sex robots.
Oh, okay.
I just posted this song in there. I love that picture. When you download MP3s, you're downloading communism.
Comrade.
Comrade. I don't know what the fuck happened to futuristic sex robots. They just kind of disappeared.
I never heard of them before. I never heard of Salida either.
Yeah, old Ben. So, any more updates with X?
No. Not for me.
No, none that I can think of. Just the biggest one, October 12th, is when his next court date is scheduled. So, yeah.
Will we do a show about it or live stream?
Yeah, we'll rip the stream for sure, and then we will do a show too.
So, are we done all our topics and I can get into crypto stuff?
Get into crypto okay.
I was saving it for last. Basically, the U.S. government or the U.S. Senate has tried to pass a infrastructure bill where they slipped into crypto tax laws at the last second, or the last, not last second, but you know what I mean. The last couple minutes of the bill, they slipped it in. So they rushed this into the law. Is basically what I'm saying. And within the crypto regulations, it says that all VASP, which is Virtual Asset Service Provider, this is a term that actually all the governments of the world are using. They're calling cryptocurrency exchanges and protocols, they're calling them VASPs, which is Virtual Asset Service Provider. So they're saying all VSPs have to KYC all of their customers. And they're going to use the taxes that come in from that, from businesses and individuals, to fund infrastructure in electricity and what was the other one? Can't remember. 1 second. Oh, transportation. So they're going to use crypto tax to build transportation and electricity infrastructure. And this passed through the Senate just Wednesday. And it had this crypto provision snuck into it before it passed. So now it goes to the House. They already got it by the Senate. They voted on it, and it passed with a vote of I'm loading an article. 67 out of 67 and voted yes, and 32 voted no. So it passed, and it advances to the House now. So the U.S. is essentially now saying that cryptocurrency is legitimate, but they're going to tax it. But they've already been taxing crypto, so what is this about? It's about stringent tax measures to make sure people can't evade taxes with crypto. Essentially.
Yeah, they get you locked into the regulations, and then they start changing them later on to do whatever they want to do. But first, they got to recognize you.
Right. Yeah. So this is the start. So this is the start of them actually recognizing cryptocurrency. They're recognizing it's a thing, but they are going to jump into it and make sure that a lot of the Wild West of it is going to change. At least that's what they think, right? I would love to know how they're going to enforce this on decentralized protocols that are just ran by AI. Like, are you going to hold the fucking programmers responsible for creating that AI? Like, what are you going to do? You know, like, what can they do?
That's a good idea, man. Hey, I'm glad you brought that up. That's a damn good idea, man. If you're the enemy.
Well, I mean, what are they going to do? I mean, like, honestly, like, how do you force a decentralized protocol to KYC people using it? You know, like, it's not a business. It's a protocol. Like, what the fuck? The problem is these congressional people have no idea what the technology that they're dealing with, and they don't realize computer code isn't able to be governed as easily, or I'm sorry, decentralized computer code is not able to be governed as easily as anything else that they're used to. Like, you got a disconnect here between these congressmen and technology. You know, that's already well known, right? And then you throw in blockchain and decentralized code, and they're just like a whole bunch of fucking monkeys, or like hamsters running on a wheel. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do, or what they're going to attempt to do, but U.S. business to comply and KYC everyone, and I mean, it works for some things, but for other things, it's not. Like for exchanges and stuff like that. You know, obviously they'll be able to do that, but decentralized exchanges, how are they going to force the protocol? If a protocol is really decentralized and abandoned and not being worked on anymore, and it's just a protocol that was created, how are you going to force that to be KYC? Are you going to ban the use of the protocol? Like, I don't understand. I guess we're going to find out, essentially. But yeah, so the U.S. is pushing these stringent KYC laws, and the SEC and the FINRA, as well as FinCEN and the U.S. Department of Treasury, is pushing for getting rid of non-custodial wallets, which basically means third-party wallets or wallets that you control the keys to, which will make things a lot less secure. I mean, fucking stupid government. It's like the whole argument between the government wanting to ban encryption, in some sense. Because if they ban encryption, right, you know, it would be very, like, let's say the government really did pass a bill that banned encryption, right? They would just completely put everyone's data out there to be easily hacked. What are they gonna say? Corporations can use encryption, but individuals can't?
Good idea.
No, horrible idea.
You keep coming up with all these good ideas for the enemy, man.
I mean, that would be one of the dumbest things ever, because then when you're connecting to a corporation website and your connection wouldn't be secure, I mean, these congressmen and everything, they don't realize the technology that they're dealing with. That's my main point that I'm trying to get across.
Well, more and more, they're just going to targeting individuals, taking away your bank accounts and all of it anyway. I mean, I guess there's another way. If you don't want to cooperate.
Well, that would be very easy if everyone's wallet was KYC'd and there's no third-party wallets and all of that. I mean, then they would be able to just call the custodian that holds your funds and say, don't allow them to withdraw or else we'll come after you. You know, like, it's literally what could happen.
Well, there was something that came out here recently, last week, I guess, about. Let me see if I say this right. Essentially, they want everything to go digital. You know, this whole cashless scheme. So then, once you go digital, you know, it just makes it that much easier for them to like shut you down. You wouldn't even have cash available anymore.
Yeah, cash will be phased out over the next 10, 20 years. At least that's what they've said. They said they don't want to phase out cash too fast because of the older boomers.
Okay. That's a long discussion to talk about that whole cash thing. So they're digitalizing everything, of course, everywhere at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, look at France and all these countries. I mean, they're just flat out telling you now you need a vaccine to travel and all this. I mean, they're locking you down, man, and they're getting it done fast.
Yeah, to be fair, this only applies, by the way, if you're going on a plane, though. I mean, there are no actual borders, you know, in the EU. So, like, there's borders at airports because there's like, yeah, border control there at airports. But I can just go into to like some small town and I can just cross the border and no one will ever notice. It can be like in Eastern Europe, like without anyone noticing, like in one day or something. So yeah, it's more like for international or for planes, boats, right? Yeah.
Well, the best way over Europe right now, it seems like you just get on a rubber raft and just show up somewhere and you're good to go. I mean, they'll accept you.
Yeah.
Quit trying to do it the right way and.
Oh yeah, just dump all the ID cards and everything you have and just get on a raft and become like a refugee. Yeah. That's possible.
You could claim to be some oppressed, rare Dutch minority, and shit, man, that's the way in. You know,
yeah.
I don't think that there is an oppressed Dutch minority.
Hey, look, it's how you identify. You just say you are, and you identify.
True.
Yeah, I see.
Might actually work.
Alright, so I identify as a lawnmower.
Everybody else does it. I mean, you know, hey, look, all I got to do is say I'm a woman, even though I got, you know what, in my pants, I'm a woman. You know, that's how it works today.
Alright, well, I identify as a lawnmower, and I'm going to go mow some lawns.
A lawnmower. Why not like a flamethrower?
Self-propelled?
Why not?
I don't know. I just randomly said lawnmower. That's the first thing that popped in my head.
Where's Steve go? Did he fall asleep?
Well, Steve identifies as a couch.
I'm here.
Okay.
Steve identifies as a weed grower.
No. Not for many, 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 many years.
I used to be one too. Hey, is there anything you guys need to announce, like upcoming shows or whatever, and or events?
Let's see. Well, we need to put something together now for August 11th. I saw that there's already was announced a day of action in London. So I'm sure something around that will happen. August 20th and 21st, Denver, Colorado. There will be a couple 2 days of events that me and Misty, Winston, Comrade Misty, a couple of other people, Charlie Robinson, John Five from the Flowbots, and a few other people will be speaking at. One is like a caravan to a number of media outlets that are all in the same little downtown or not downtown, but Cherry Creek area. The second day in Greek Park is an Anything to Say event where we're 100% ripping off what we did in DC on July 1st with the two-dimensional cutouts of the Anything to Say art exhibit with the empty chair and whatnot. Let people up on the chair to say something if they have it. And let's see what else. October 12th, San Jose, Peckham Federal Building, 9 a.m. for Commander X's next hearing. If there is anything that happens in between that we would need to show up for or turn out for X, absolutely we'll let you know. But would like to you know what, if anybody's got any connections with any of the, like, I don't know, hacker world in San Jose, is old, like, even if, you know, retired, but we'd like to reach out to them. But you know, maybe we can do like a movie. I know they're gonna be all locked down and shit too. I hate this shit. I was gonna say we could do like show the X's documentary at a couple of the, you know, schools and shit in San Jose. Try and rally some support up that way. We've got till October.
Yeah.
There's at least an older cypherpunk community that's still in and around Silicon Valley and the Bay Area.
It is true, yes.
We'll figure it out, get something together, try and do some sort of awareness outreach.
Okay, so it's time to give a PSA.
No, actually, I've got way more news. Okay, so just today there was 20. Or no, actually, just today, about 22 hours ago, there was a major earthquake that took place off the coast of Alaska that at first caused a tsunami warning. And they're saying that this is the largest earthquake in 50 years. Now, if you know where I'm going with this, just recently China has had flooding, rain floods that are so bad that they haven't had floods like that for 60 years. I think the U.S. and China are playing a little warfare weather game, which does also include earthquakes, by the way. As William, who is it? William, I can't remember his name. William, Defense Secretary in 1997. William Cohen. William Cohen said that basically weather warfare is real. That's a quote from him. It's a paraphrase quote, but yeah.
You think HARP sent the tsunami?
No.
I 8.2 out of Alaska.
Right. Yeah, out of Alaska. That's another big reason why I think it might have been just because China got flooded, and what got hit with an earthquake? Alaska off the coast. What's in Alaska? Anyone? HARP.
Yeah, HARP. We just matched it earlier.
Yeah. Exactly, and it's very significant what happened in China, because the floodings and everything, it affected the central Chinese, of central of China, the center of China, and there was 3 dams that broke down, and a 4th that they said is probably going to break. So they have some problems over there right now. And again, this happened right after China had both threatened the world and Japan directly by saying, because Japan wanted to interfere in Taiwan, and China has directly said that they would invade Taiwan and everything. And Japan came out and defended it and said, if you do invade Taiwan, we're going to go over there ourselves. And China threatened them back and said, oh, well, if you step a soldier, or any vehicle in Taiwan, that we would nuke you continuously. So not one nuke. They're going to keep dropping nukes. And then, then we got that flooding that happened. Besides that, U.S. Capitol Police now have authority to arrest anyone who isn't wearing a mask. Oh, that's interesting. So
Where
if you
is
go
that?
to U.S. Capitol Police, that's like that's the Capitol.
No. I thought you were reading off an article or something that was in the.
Oh, I'm reading headlines. Yeah.
Okay.
I think Pelosi wanted that a while back. She finally got it, huh?
She finally got it with Biden, right?
Yeah.
Here's okay. So this is back to the earthquake. This is evidence that this isn't just a normal earthquake. Largest U.S. quake in half century causes Alaska little damage. Now that's the head. Now what they said that the earthquake caused shaking for an abnormal amount of time. They said that it was prolonged shaking after the actual earthquake. And that's not normal, by the way.
Well, yeah, they were the show that I do a guest spot on Into the Microcosm. The regulars lives in Hawaii and said they were on an evac alert for a tsunami warning because of that.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, because the 8.5, man, that's a dirty earthquake. That's a big one. And it happened around off the coast, not not inland, but off the coast of it to try to cause a tsunami, in my opinion, you know. So the heavy rain that was actually caused in China, that came from a storm in the ocean. I just don't remember what the storm was called at all the top of my head. But it was a tropical storm. It came as a tropical storm, and it got worse and worse as it came closer to China.
Man,
But I
was
mean, that
hectic,
happens
too.
naturally sometimes too, though.
Well, it's
Yeah,
gotta look natural.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, the difference though, the difference there would be that it looked all the pundits and everything were saying that it wasn't going to be a bad storm or anything, and then it came out of nowhere and just, you know, tricked the meteorologist. When a storm comes in and the meteorologists are seeing one thing and saying that, you know, it's not that bad, and then it all of a sudden gets bad, that's when you know that's probably a manipulated storm. Because these meteorologists, many of them are professionals, and they know what they're looking at when they look into a storm, right? So, essentially, I mean, like, it's just further evidence that it was manipulated. Because they said before that when this thing was coming in, that it was very, very weak, and all of a sudden it got really strong. It does happen, that's true, but in regards to manipulating the weather and stuff like that, I mean, I don't know. I just think that there's a kind of a fight happening here between China and the U.S. and they're using weather warfare weapons as opposed to using nuclear weapons, which is good for us, right? You know, they're not using nukes. If they're using nukes, I mean, half the population would be dead, right?
At the same time, they're talking about building an underground tunnel from China to the USA with a $200 billion maglev train. Just saying.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
What?
Yeah, it was like in the news like a day ago.
Where was this? That's not happening, I'll tell you that. If it does happen, it happened because Biden's president and Biden's a Chinese puppet. Facts.
Yeah, I want to build like a train through Alaska, through Canada, to the USA. With a maglev. They just managed to make them...
That's Alaska, Canada to the USA, not China.
No, from China through Alaska to the USA.
The fuck?
Maybe Russia across the gap there, but
It's definitely China. I just read it like five minutes ago.
well, it could be part of that big Belt Road initiative they got going. Part of that whole plan.
Well, that's pretty fucking insane.
Oh yeah, here it is. Okay, so China proposes an 8,000-mile underwater high-speed train line to the US from June 27. China is leading in the train sector with one of the most expansive and impressive high-speed rail networks on the planet. Network spans the country far corners already, but it has plans of expanding even further under the ocean, across Canada, and down the United States.
Are they really going?
Off.
China has expressed the desire to build a high-speed 13,000 kilometers, 8,000-mile international bullet train. It will begin in mainland China, travel through Siberia and eastern Russia, go under the sea.
Right, so the PLA can send their army in this fucking train, and they can keep sending army troops because they, they've built this bullet train. And they can get a whole bunch of military officials up in Canada and around the U.S., and then they can take over North America.
Yeah, but also they can potentially deliver a trade, economic, and tourism boom for all.
A tourism boom, right? Mm-hmm. Go to China, where...
It's actually a proposal in 2014, though. I mean, but they're now going to do it. So.
Go to China, where everyone is under surveillance and has a social credit score. Yay! Are we putting fucking Disney World in China now, too?
thought they had one.
Yeah, I thought.
Yeah, they might. I don't know.
I mean, people go to like the Great Wall and shit.
Ooh, Great Wall of China. You know, I'm gonna go to the pyramids, the forbidden fucking pyramids.
Here, where the proposal was first made. So they proposed this originally in 2014, and when they made it, reports claimed that engineers from China were already in talks with Russia about beginning the line, and that they were very confident it was possible with the current technology. That was in 2014.
So they proposed it in 2014?
Yeah, they proposed it 2014 originally, and now 2 days ago, a few days ago, they proposed again. So yeah, they're saying.
I mean, you know, for like whatever it is, like 200 billion. I mean, that's cheap. You know, because I mean, normally it's like what, like $1 billion a mile or something.
Yeah.
For doing stuff like that.
Yeah, 200 billion only. The China, Russia, Canada, America line.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
It's a global village.
It is. Originally in 2014 it was from the Washington Post. And this one is the thing from a site called Intelligent Living. Just saying. A kind of like website focused on like green energy crap. Yeah. This the Washington Post article is huge. The Washington Post article is called "China May Build an Undersea Train to America."
May.
Yeah, that's a 2014 one. See like a huge route on it.
Oh, Facebook to release smart glasses that record everything. Brilliant fucking idea.
They have a smartwatch too. One that they're building.
Well, fuck the smartwatch. I mean, the smart glasses is the more scary thing. They're going to record everything that people do. Okay.
I couldn't think of anything else Facebook would want to do with it.
It's just all about selling whatever they can find out about you. I mean, it's just what scum, man.
This is their only skill. It's like collecting data on people.
But the point is that people are just like taking it and they don't. I mean, like now I feel like there's a little bit of resistance. I don't know. I'm waiting for the rebellions of people to actually like how you say arson the Facebook headquarters. Because it's coming. You can't just fucking sell people's data and then, that's fucking insanity, man. Like, record everything with smart glasses? Are you kidding me?
We need to find another Iranian girl like that one went over to YouTube.
Oh, Jesus Christ, man. Now we're definitely getting banned.
Hey, you wanted to arson FB? I mean, what?
No, I said I was waiting. There's a difference between saying I'm waiting for and we need to find a.
Well, it's just okay. We just need to find it. I mean, you know. It's not like
No, we don't need to find a.
Why not? We got to be prepared.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, if it happens on its own, that's a different story. If you're trying to help the thing along, you're an accomplice.
Hey, and did you guys read this news that says like Ecuador revoked WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange citizenship? Did they like already like sell him out to like everything? Like, why would he want to be a citizen of Ecuador at this point?
Wait, what? They gave him citizenship?
Yeah, well, Ecuador revoked WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange citizenship. This is 2 days ago.
That's fucking like beyond bizarre.
Yeah, revoked over 2 years after his asylum status was illegally removed.
Now, after
a huge ass loan from the IMF. Eat a dick, Moreno.
Yeah.
So that's how government straightens out themselves.
What the fuck is even up with that? I don't get it.
It's what would you call it? Absolution of government. They're absolving themselves of anything they did.
They're
That's a good one.
probably they fucked up with austerity so bad that they probably got their hand out to the Biden administration. And they're like, look, we'll formalize this thing that we did illegally a few years ago. Can we get some money for that? We sort of burned through the last, bribes.
Yeah.
Time for another Hunter Biden trip.
As violent crime surges in California, Californians' faith in gun control slips. You don't say. You want a firearm when people are using firearms against you, eh?
I mean, it's like progressives sometimes are like the last people that really get how things work. You have to go do everything else before you finally get to the right solution. The last ones to know.
More gullible than the people that think Jesus handpicked Donald Trump to lead the country. They are. They're the most gullible voting bloc on the planet.
Isn't that what Trump said? He called them gullible. You remember that quote, Elma? I know you do.
Gullible? Say it again?
Yeah. Trump. He called the Republican Party voters gullible.
Oh yeah, that was a long time. Yeah, and that if he would run for president, he would run as a Republican because they were so stupid. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I talk to all these Republican dumbasses down here and try to, but hey, I mean, sheep, you just can't reach them, man. They heard some, bullshit from some Republican official and everything was great and they're on board. That's all it takes. And they're as rabid as any progressive, I can tell you that.
Yeah, but even still,
millions.
Even still, the progressives are more gullible.
In a bizarre twist, astronomers detect light coming from behind a black hole.
Alright.
Just as
Sounds
Einstein
interesting.
predicted.
Don't like black holes suck the light in. Like it's like invisible.
Einstein's theory of general relativity has always predicted that black holes have light at the bending light around a black hole. It has never been confirmed until they've just confirmed it right now.
Okay, great news. Einstein was right again.
They also just accidentally found that a planet about 50 light years away that orbits a sun-like star has more water on it than Earth does.
Yep.
Okay, that sounds epic.
I could tell you what Bezos and Branson are gonna do.
Oh man,
they're gonna fly the new
intergalactic water wars, bitch.
Yeah, well, that Nestle guy was probably have it all.
No, they're gonna fly the space penis into that direction.
Space dawn flying through the universe.
We need the space penis to land on a base up there that looks like a set of nuts, and then that would complete the picture. That would be epic.
I'm sure there's some asteroids out there.
Yeah.
No.
Rocket dicks.
He wants it to land on a launch pad that looks like balls. I get it.
Yeah. If you can land up straight up and down like you can now, I mean, you could just like slide right in there between like two dome buildings that would look like, I mean, I think it'd be pretty cool.
It would be meme worthy, that's for sure. Pretty sure everyone would be taking screenshots of the NASA feed, that's for sure.
And then it'd be another conspiracy theory is like, did they build the moon base and the rocket to look like that? Who would do that?
They'd have to build it like... Nah, dude, you want it to be like... somebody's like pussy or ass, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you?
Well, that's the California.
You want it to like land next to its own nuts or something? I don't know.
Yeah, it has to complete the picture.
I think if you're Jeff
California
Bezos, you want penetration, don't you?
Well, I do personally, but I mean, at the California base, we can do whatever you want. I mean, it's wide open. But
oh, but there's no gay people where you live.
oh man, Austin's full of them. It's like Berkeley, Colorado.
But the California, you're funny. You are. You are.
It's out of control up there.
Oh, here's
Austin. They're confused as fuck. They don't even know, dude. That's Peter Thiel's compound. Fucking, he owns each and every one of those fucking fake progressive shit libbing training wheel fucking think they're fucking woke and whatever idiots in Austin. Peter Thiel owns all of them. And the ones he doesn't own, Joe Rogan owns, and I'm pretty sure that Peter Thiel owns Joe Rogan. That's why he tried to move comedy to Austin. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. Austin's too much of a shithole.
They've cranked out some good music
Ruined
over
it
the years.
before
but
you got
there's
the
just no way to
comics there.
beat California. It's just it can't be done, man. You guys are like next level.
So I don't even really. I don't know, dude. You're the concept of California that you have in your head is not the California that I live in. So when you say you guys, I'm not real sure what you're talking about because that's not where I live. State. It's not just LA or San Francisco. Like it's a massive
It's not just Berkeley or Oakland or
most of it
San
is
Francisco
actually like rural. Most of it is predominantly like agricultural. Way more fucking hillbilly. Like Northern California in particular.
Well, that's true.
I don't
I mean,
know.
by
Like
land-
it's just it speaks to a ridiculous level of like intentional ignorance. Because why would you want to know if the only picture in your head of California is LA or Berkeley? Why would you ever want to learn anything about it? You know, like I get it. It's just it's silly.
Well, this just in. Donald Trump has called the Capitol Police that have testified pussies.
All right.
Good. That's awesome. That's awesome. The now nationwide
It's great.
Capitol Police with branch offices in New York and LA. What the fuck? They're a federal police force. Just like that. Oh, you get branch offices in New York and LA. Just for being pussies.
Well, actually, his quote is actually he called them liberal pussies.
Okay, I'm okay with that.
Do we know though? I mean, because some of them were like, what? They did murder that chick. Was that a liberal pussy?
But you see, it's justified because, you know, they were breaking in the Capitol, that they were allowed into, and down.
Always justified.
I mean, like, yeah, the whole thing is just obvious that they allowed it to happen again. And in some instances, some of them were even involved in allowing it to go further than it would have.
Like, all of the leadership of the Oath Keepers is not fucking 3%, dude. Probably, like, all of them. The FBI.
Russia and China to hold joint military drills in mid-August.
Okay.
Oh. China releases another propaganda video where it shows a staged massive invasion of Taiwan and boasts that it would defeat the US and UK in any conflict. Yeah, anybody still think that we're not probably going to go to war with China?
Them aliens, one world government.
Anyone? Because
it'd be so. I mean, what the? I guess if that's one way to guarantee that population reduction.
If this JEP doesn't work like it's supposed to, we're going to have to nuke everybody. I mean, that's just the only thing we can. That's the only thing that's left that can get the job done.
Don't both the Russians and the USA still have like a black plague on ice?
What?
Some kind of like old bioweapon they kept on ice, like some old virus. Something with the plague. They kept.
There's several fucking scientists that have now. I believe it was Steve who brought this up, but some scientist found ancient viruses in a fucking under the ice in, I think it was Antarctica or something. And
yeah, but I mean, like literally, they kept it in the in frozen. They have it like in like a bunker. Like the Russians and the USA both have like this virus in a bunker. If they release it, they can like kill all the world.
I don't know about kill the whole world, but I know that they have bioweapons. All countries have bioweapons. Every country that has a BSL lab or a biosecurity lab. What do you think they're doing in a biosecurity lab? It's not making cookies.
Working on vaccines.
Making really contaminated cookies.
They just take their bioweapon and they call it a vaccine and they give it to you.
You keep dropping that V word.
We can't say it anymore. Just hack the planet, hack everything, make bombs, do everything. Vaccines suck. We're going to lose this thing anyway, this episode. I'm sure of it. And when it finishes, it starts compiling. It's gone.
Channel's gone. Bye-bye, channel.
Yeah. Well, we have a backup channel, which is fine. It's just Anonymous Bites back on YouTube. It's very easy to find.
We're just gonna have to make 10,000 fucking backup channels on YouTube. Just keep buying fucking accounts. Oh well.
I'm building our site. I'm building our own site. We'll have like all our episodes on it. And we'll use our own YouTube clone site.
We're doing just fine over it's running smooth on the Rockfin.
Like what X tried to do with starting XTube.
Right, but we're not going to call it XTube because we are smarter than that, because we realize that XTube it sounds like a porn site.
Let me type it in.
Well, what if we called it double XTube?
It is actually a porn site.
So
I just typed it in.
Difference, or maybe triple XTube. You know, like after the wrestler.
Triple XTube. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. See, that way they wouldn't think that it was
probably taken. Yeah.
XTube too is also taken.
Maybe they would think it was about like old time whiskey.
But is XTube really taken?
Yeah, XTube says free porn, sex movies, and porn tube. XXX gay porno.
So X was going to.
Well, then the fourth X, and no one will know. No one will. They'll be like, okay, surely, by the fourth X, they got through. They got through the porn, and now we're on to something.
Can you hear me? Hey, Mark.
Oh,
Yeah.
you guys support it. There he is.
I posted a a photo in general.
Okay.
Look at that. I just drove by that.
Oh wow. Are they meeting there?
Bilderberg. Hotel Bilderberg.
Does it still exist? I thought it was renamed to Eden.
No.
Okay.
It's in Wales. Bilderberg.
Yeah. I know many of the Bilderberg hotels are renamed to Eden. I mean.
But this one still exists. I was like, when I saw that, I was like, what the fuck? Bilderberg? Damn.
Yeah. They're building. They're building. You know. A berg.
Yeah. That's actually a group of elites that was founded by.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So.
They actually, Bilderberg actually gave the plot for, or not plot, they gave the schematics for a European Union currency before it was proposed in the European Union.
It's pretty much the Atlantic elite, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it was founded by Rockefeller, I think, and the first one to lead it was the Dutch Prince Bernhard. Yeah.
Olifanten skieten.
Yeah, that's hilarious. That tweet is hilarious.
We're gonna shoot some elephants.
That is actually how he talked.
Yeah, he really talked really funny, yeah. With a German accent. Well, he was German.
Yeah,
right?
he was actually German.
Um,
He was part of the SD too, right? The German Nazi.
yeah, he had ties with the Nazis, right?
Yeah, he was part of the SD. Not the SS, but the SD. Yeah.
Yeah, Sicherheitsdienst.
Yeah.
Like what is it? Kind of police, right?
Yeah. But I got in fights with the SS in the streets and stuff. Yeah.
Okay. So, a pig fighting a pig.
Pretty much. Yeah, this is a surprising history. As I said, there was he sent like a telegram to Hitler to. He offered Hitler to work for him and like rule over our country as like a stadtholder. It's like an old title.
I thought he was gonna say he was offering him a blowjob or something.
Pretty much, if Hitler would make him a stadtholder, yeah, kind of like that.
Offering him a blowjob.
Yeah. See that the story of James Bond is based on that guy? Do you know that?
It's getting late, guys. I gotta go. I got shit to do tomorrow.
Well, it is not. It's not a secret that he was a womanizer, right?
Yeah, and he's had this shake and not stirred thing, and also Ian Fleming, who wrote like James Bond, was with the British Secret Service, and he was a friend of him. So he later on he admitted he based it on Prince Bernhard. Yeah.
Well, he was a womanizer because how many kids he had outside of his marriage?
That's true. It's true.
I mean, there are a lot of Bernard Juniors running around in the world.
Yeah. Yeah, there were other the princes were also like that. You had Prince Hendrik also was like that. Some others are also like that. They were like real womanizers.
Yep. Well, money and power, right?
Yeah.
Seems to attract certain kind of women.
Yeah, well, okay, so they did always say like, Juliana wasn't really attractive in that sense. He married for the money with her, and he had all these ladies next to her.
Well, the whole royal family is not really pretty. They all look the same. They look like clones of each other, right?
Except for maybe Maxima, but she is from Argentina. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, look at Willem-Alexander, the present king.
Yeah.
He really looks like Beatrix.
He's like a walking genetic defect. Yeah.
Yep, and breeds.
Yeah, well, that's what they are. That's what caused all these problems with their health. They were always inbreeding, these royals.
Yep, because in the former days only royalty could marry to royalty, right?
Oh.
So at a certain point, the combinations are, limited, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, take all the royal families of Europe. They are all far family of each other.
Yeah.
Cousins of cousins, cousins second degree, cousins and uncles and etc. Yeah, So yeah, there's a lot of inbreeding there. I think the Dutch royal family also has ties with the English royal family, right?
Yeah, it's true. That is something that you don't see mentioned very often in history. The history there.
Well, I mean, there's inbreeding. I don't even know if that's what you call it, but like inbreeding in all the royal families throughout history. That's why the Habsburg had those freaking blood disorders.
Well, at some point you had William the Silent, which was a Dutch leader, and he took control over. Amsterdam was like the biggest trading city, and he took control over the UK with an event called the Glorious Revolution. This is where William the Silent conquered the England, and that
Willem de Zwijger.
Yeah, and that's when he went on the throne in England with his wife Mary, and that's why the center of trade and power went to London instead of Amsterdam. That's why London now has like 5 million people, and Amsterdam only has like less than 1 million. Otherwise, it would have been the other way around, because the center of power would have been still there. But he used London as his private little garden. So.
Oh, we also fought the English several times.
Well, even we conquered the English in the Glorious Revolution, but even today you still have fights going on in Ireland over that, because you have the Orange movement, right? You have
and the IRA and all that.
Yeah, a fight between Protestants and Catholics, and William the Silent was a Protestant leader, and he is the Orange.
Not coincidence it is orange, because that's also the color of the Netherlands, right?
Yeah, he was William of Orange. Yeah.
Yep.
That causes that still to today that causes the stuff in Ireland. So yeah.
Jonkheer van Amsbergen.
Yeah. But they also have all these titles in England still. If you look at the titles of the Queen of Beatrix, Queen Beatrix, the mom of a current king, has all these titles in England too.
Even the current king has, like I said, Jonkheer van Amsbergen. Amsberg, sorry. And I looked it up. That's from northern Germany. Amsberg. I was looking up where that family comes from,
Yeah.
Alright.
It's a little bit south of Hamburg, where the family comes from.
Well, even the English royals are actually German, mostly German family.
Yeah, but William the Silent was of German descent too. Yeah, it's even like in our national anthem. He is from German blood.
Ben ik van Duitse bloed?
Yeah.
But I never understood that last part, you know? The King of Spain I always honored, you know, like... I have nothing with...
Because the Spain's in there too.
Yeah, Spain is in there too.
All the incest is the word.
Well, okay.
But all the royals in general were inbreeding.
Yeah, but the national anthem was created during the 80 Years' War between Netherlands and Spain, because Netherlands was occupied by Spain, which was back then called Hispania, and they occupied most of Europe back then. And Dutch freedom fighters fought an 80 Years' War against them.
Something with
Dutch
Alpha,
national
right?
anthem is about incest.
Right?
That's what I'm getting out of this conversation.
No.
The Dutch national anthem is about inbreeding.
There was that guy in the 80 Years' War from Spain, Alpha, right?
Yeah.
I think he was the ruler here or something like that.
Yeah, Spain was ruling here. Yeah.
Yeah,
Took
but
80 years.
was that guy Alpha?
I think
was
so.
the-
Yeah. Yeah. But it took 80 years to chase them away.
Yep. Yeah, well, not 80 full years because there was a little break in between, right?
Yeah, I think they call it officially the 80 Years' War. So. Yeah.
But there was a little break in between.
Yeah, they lost many times, and then they have like a little peace, and then start again.
Yep. We are
Yeah.
stubborn people.
Otherwise, we would have talked. Probably we would have been talking Spanish in the country.
Hola.
Spanish isn't a bad language.
Right? Hola, ¿cómo está?
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I don't know. I don't know much Spanish, but a few words I know.
It was Prince. Was Philip II of Spain, and he was the leader of the Habsburg Netherlands back then. That's who they fought
Okay.
against.
But who was
The Habsburgs was like a conglomerate of all of all those nations. At
Yeah.
least the royals were.
Look,
They had blood disorders because of it.
Yeah. So that's why it took 80 years to beat these Habsburgs, right? They were like pretty savage.
But can you look that up, Mark? Who was that Alpha guy? He was also some high official of Spain involved in the 80 Years' War.
From Spain?
Yeah, I know his name was Alpha, but because there's Alpha beer. I know that he was involved in the 80 Years' War. But I can't remember now exactly what his role was. Up.
Alright, I gotta get up stupid early tomorrow, so I'm gonna bounce too.
Alright, see you, Steve.
Later, Steve.
Have a good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night, Steve.
I'll probably have to give the PSA.
Alright. Well, remember for CommanderX, CommanderX.org for updates on the website, and at FreeCommanderX _ is the Twitter. Remember to spam neuter your politicians and lobbyists and bankers, military contractors, and royalty. Oh my god.